Worry.
So yeah, today will be the test. The battery saver mode should be on, so we'll see if we can actually get through this without this almost dying.
That would be nice. That would be
Oh, your
nice.
your green is showing. Oh, when you looked up, it went away.
See it in there. All that. Look at all that green.
No, no, I meant like it was like all behind you where the circle was.
I know.
I think when you leaned forward, wait, I can. Oh, there we go. I think when you leaned forward, it caused the thing to shift forward.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Gonna do that. And then we're going to do
Very cold in here.
that. And then that.
I need you to
And
know
then
that.
that. We do that. And then that. And then that. And then.
Go to Artlist for the best quality AI.
Whoa. What is that nonsense?
I'm watching a video on YouTube while I wait for you to be ready.
Look at all that green.
No, no, I meant like it was like all behind you where the circle.
Go check
Oh,
that.
you have us live. Oh, I see.
And then I do. I do have us live. Okay. That is ready. Come on. There we go. That's much better. I don't know why.
What is that nonsense?
Watching a video on YouTube. Good. You can hear us.
I don't know why it's so washed out and bright. I don't know. It's very strange. What are we doing, Jordan? What are we even doing here?
The news.
We're finding our clock. Okay. Doing the big stretch. Doing the big stretch. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps cutting out my green screen. Like my green screen technology has not been great lately for some reason. I don't know why.
And yet mine has been pretty fantastic.
In 3, 2, 1. This podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media Pantheon. Please head to artemedia.org to see all kinds of podcasts from our great friends. And if you would like to start your own podcast, they can provide you with the tools and resources to do so there. So please head to artemedia.org. That's ARETE media.org. On with the show. This is it.
On with the show. This is it.
Welcome to the Spur of the Moment podcast, everybody. I am your host. I am as he, as is always, as is them, as they have always been. I'm Justin Spurr. And I'm joined, as always, by him he's there. He's there most days. And even the days when he's not, he's also there. He, much like Sting from the Police, he's always watching you. Even when you think he's not, even when you think he's not watching you, he's watching you.
That's not true at all.
He's directly behind you at all times, right?
No,
right.
We cannot confirm this lore.
Right in your peripheral, when you're like, wow, it feels like someone's watching me. That's the incomparable Jordan. He's just standing there. He's the incomparable Jordan. He's also here.
I am also here. I'm cold.
It is cold in Canada. I'm not that cold, but it is pretty chilly. On today's show, we got so much news that I couldn't even fit it all. That's how much of a news extravaganza it is.
It's a news-a-palooza.
There's nom delicious. I'm gonna shove it in your face like it's a pie. News. And then, well, I guess I should say some of that news, which is we got a Scream 7 trailer. We got a Stranger Things 5 trailer. Is Mark Hamill gonna show up in Star Wars? Probably not. Jabba the Hutt's son, what's he gonna sound like? Batman news, Supergirl news. Why did Doctor Who and Disney break up? Now You See Me TV show, Hello Kitty TV show, Hotel Transylvania TV show. What might have happened with Kang, Doctor Strange, Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas are doing a musical, and so much more. And then later, it's based on you saw the title. It's based on a true story. You're gonna be surprised, but what it technically counts as being based on a true story. That's later, though. But first, I have to start the show off with a big announcement. It's big announcement time. Because in 2 weeks, it is our 100th episode. And also, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with this? Let's go back. Major announcements. Number one, Spur of the Moment Conversations premiere to ravenous success. Ravenous success? That doesn't feel like the correct adjective. Great success. We want to thank Briley for coming on and talking to us. It was really fun. It was really cool. She's really cool. It has been a massive success for us. We're really grateful to all of you guys who came over with her. Thank you. Don't worry, you're safe here. You're very safe. You don't have to worry. Jordan's is doing a queen wave for those of you who cannot see. Yes, thank you to her. That's very cool. She will be back in December for a December episode. That's really.
We did commit to that. Didn't we?
That's really cool. And thanks to her, we are ever closer to our 300th subscriber. And Jordan, remind the audience what happens when we hit 300 subscribers.
We eat hot sauce.
We eat hot sauce. Jordan will eat a little bit. I will eat a lot of bit. But that cycles around to in 2 weeks from now.
292.
We are currently at 292 thanks to Briley and thanks to a Spur of the Moment conversation. It's very exciting. But we are ever closer, and we are hoping that we could pick up those 8 subscribers in 2 weeks. We need your help. Tell your friends. Tell them you don't have to watch the content. Just hit the subscribe button. Get us to that 300.
Share, subscribe. Subscribe.
We need you to go full multi-level marketing on this. Share it with a friend who shares it with a friend who shares it with a friend. We just need you to subscribe, get us to that 300 so that on our 100th episode, which will theoretically be chaos, I have several guests lined up. There will be lots of people coming. Make it so we can eat hot sauce in front of them live on the air with a live audience. Only you can do that by pushing us to 300 subscribers by 2 weeks. It feels like an obtainable goal. It's what I want. 2 weeks, 100th episode, extravaganza. Get excited.
Get excited. Get excited.
We'll be back in the sponsorship section to talk about this again. But get excited for that. That's the announcements at the top of the show. But yeah, we have had several lovely comments from followers of hers who have subscribed to us. They were very lovely, saying that the video was cool and referencing stuff in the video. The number one way to let me know that you watched the video is referencing things that are deep in the video. So if you're mentioning the fact that we talked about Legends of Tomorrow, that means you made it a sizable portion of the way through the video. That's sick. Thanks. Help our retention rate. Back end stuff. Awesome. Super fun. And also, as a reminder, come talk to us. We want to talk to you.
Hey.
On with the news. On with the news. This is news.
Yeah, if you want to be on Spur of the Moment conversation, that's the opportunity to come and talk to us.
Hit me
so
up.
if you're one of those people who don't like our opinions on Andor and you want to come on and talk to us about it, that's the place to do it.
Hit me up. There's not a private messaging function on YouTube, but it's Justin's business. Or if you want to message me on TikTok, tell me you want to be on Spur of the Moment conversation, and message me on Spur of the Moment. That they all know. Don't be a weirdo like half of my messages on there are. On with the news. So,
on with the news.
We're gonna do some trailers. Trailer number 1, Scream 7. Now, Jordan, as a person who has not seen any of the more recent Scream movies, you've only seen the first one. I have to assume this meant nothing to you.
It meant very much nothing to me. I watched it and I was like, why did I watch this? I haven't seen the other 5 Scream movies. I feel like I've just jumped a lot of like I've come into Saw 10 without watching the other 8.
Well, now to be entirely fair, here's what I will say. As a person who is up to date, it does not give you much. There's stuff I didn't get until I saw people talk about it. The house that basically in the trailer you see a couple and they've gone to this house and it's now a Saw museum. I did not get the fact that was supposed to be Stu's house from the first movie, which is now a creepy stab themed haunted bed and breakfast. I did not get that. I didn't get that they were in a new house. I totally missed.
I didn't necessarily know that it was supposed to be Stu's house, but I figured because it was like a shrine to that
Yeah.
kind of thing. I figured it had to be someone from one of the original ones.
Um,
Knowing it's Stu's house makes me go like, "Oh, so that's how they're going to bring him back then, is
did,
it's going to be like a copycat or
did you
something."
did you pick up his voice at the end of the trailer when he was like, "This is gonna be fun"? That was very definitely
I
Matthew Lillard.
thought yeah, I thought I did.
There's a
Yeah.
point where in the trailer where, and I missed this the first time I watched the trailer, which is there's a point in the middle where you hear David Arquette saying, "Everyone around you dies, Sydney," and so David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, and this is where I know what this is. So you not knowing anything about anything, you have no theories obviously as to who Ghostface is, but the theory that is floating
Other
around.
than it being Matthew Lillard coming back.
I don't think it's Matthew Lillard. The last one made a pretty clear case that if you have a television dropped on your head, you're dead. Like they have a moment where they show that happening and they show him dying. So I don't think he's coming back. Now I don't know if this has been officially revealed, but the rumor is okay. So number one, the theory on the internet is that it's Stu Macher's sister. That's going to be the big reveal, and I
Okay.
think that's wrong because one of the people who is coming back is Roman, a name that doesn't mean anything for you, but he was the Ghostface in Scream 3. And supposedly the big twist in this is the killer is using AI deepfake technology.
Oh yeah, and that's how they bring Matthew
That's how they're
Lillard
going to bring
back.
Matthew Lillard back. That's how they're going to bring back Roman. That's how they're going to bring back David Arquette.
Because I was gonna say, I don't think they're gonna bring Matthew Lillard back in like physical form. My theory, having not seen any of the other ones, was that he was gonna be just the voice of
Yeah, well,
Matthew
yeah. So,
Lillard.
so the my theory is that if it is AI replicants or whatever, that's just a more advanced version of the talk box from Scream 3.
Yeah.
And so if the last one was just Scream 2, then this is Scream 3, and the talk box, it means that my theory is that the killer is Sydney's niece or nephew, and it's they're gonna do a big reveal where the AI is Roman, and it's like, oh, you killed my dad, and it's gonna turn out that one of because you see a group of friends. I'm guessing the blonde one is going to turn out to be Roman's daughter, or one of the characters in her sphere is going to turn out to be related to Roman and be her cousin. That's my
Okay.
thing, and this is just going to be Scream 3, and the AI is just the voice box from Scream 3. That's my theory. I'm calling
Okay.
that right now because it is the most boring thing they could possibly do. It's not very interesting, and it's the most obvious. And all of these new Scream movies have been like painfully obvious, and it's the most obvious thing to me. I'm like, yeah, the last one was just Scream 2, so I'm like, okay, this one is just gonna be Scream 3. Like, and I'm like, again, what is apparently the original guy who created it is coming back to write it again, and I'm just like, what does he have to say about modern horror movies? I just don't. What is there to say other than they're too graphic nowadays? Like, is he gonna do a statement on Terrifier and how they're 1,000 times more bloody and graphic? Like, I agree with Briley. I don't know what to do here. I think they should have gone. I mean, I think our idea of time travel is still the best one. But
Time travel.
I maintain they should go balls to the wall, go full bore supernatural, and do Ghostface. He is Stu, and he's a ghost. Like that's what they should have done.
That's the
what I
that's
said
the
they
other
should have
way
done
to do
in
it.
Stu 6. Just go full. He's a ghost now, and he's haunting Sydney.
Like, okay, so hear me out. You have the entire movie play out like the way that they want it to, where it's the AI or whatever, and it gets to the final shot where it's the killer and the final girl of the movie. And the killer is like moving in on the final girl, and then like the top of his head gets cut off or something, and you see like a ghost face walk out from behind him, pull the hood off or whatever, and it's Stu, and he just does
That'd be pretty
and then
sweet.
walks away.
I mean, what they're gonna do, like you could see the scene happening is there's gonna be a scene in the movie. Basically, they're gonna red herring you with Ghostface's identity, where there's probably gonna be multiple scenes of him taking off the Ghostface mask, and he's gonna take it off, and it's gonna be Stu, and he's gonna be using AI deepfake technology, and that's gonna be the bit. Like, yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb, and I don't like it, and it's
Oh.
boring.
Sorry, 1 second. My headphones accidentally turned on.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you? Is this thing on? Test. Test. He's not giving me. He's not giving me facial recognition. He's not acknowledging me. This is becoming awkward. It has already become awkward. Can you hear me?
Talk again now?
Can you hear me?
There we go. Okay. I think that's right. It's just weird because it was like it spoke to me. But I was like, I didn't hit any of the buttons on it. Why are you speaking to me? And then you sounded weird, and then I talked and I sounded weird. So it made it seem like it wasn't doing it through the microphone anymore. And I was like, what the heck is happening?
That's
and
weird.
I pull it off, and I'm pressing the button to turn it off, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything, and the lights aren't on. And I'm like, I'm so confused. So if the audio quality suddenly dipped for everyone, I'm sorry. My headphones are being weird. Does it sound different for you now? Like it does when I.
It sounds like you're using the microphone. Yeah, I can tell the difference
Okay.
when you're not.
Good.
Next, Stranger Things 5 trailer. This is how you know it's true. I'm gonna say one thing up top. Six. Frick, why can't I remember the character's name? Millie Bobby Brown is just Scarlet Witch. She's doing the Scarlet Witch thing. And I know that's true because even Haley went, she's just doing the Scarlet Witch thing. And she's like, and I don't even watch Marvel. She's like, I could tell she was just doing Scarlet Witch.
True.
It's
so true.
And I'm like, if she can tell it, she doesn't watch Marvel. That she's just doing, yes. And you pointed this out. The first immediate thing is, it's hilarious how they showed this scene where seven? Why can't I remember her name?
11.
11, thank you. They literally show the scene where 11 dies in the trailer. It's really funny. I mean, unless it's a red herring, but the show is not that clever.
It sure as hell seems like that's the moment.
It's the moment where she has to sacrifice herself to close the Upside Down.
They know that you know that that's an obvious thing, so they're just like, we're just gonna show it.
Unless it's a total red herring, but yeah.
It comes across like it's like the scene where she's like I have to give it my all. I have to put 100% of myself into this, or it won't work.
Yeah.
And she goes and she does it, and then she dies doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the scene.
But it also reads to me, joking aside, it also reads to me like that's like the first like hour of a 3-hour thing. She tries to do that. It doesn't work. She doesn't have her powers anymore, and she's just normal. And they still have to find a way to beat it anyway.
That looks like the moment where that's the end, and she full bore, like that's where she shuts.
I'm saying it looks like both to me. To me, it looks like it's the final thing, like it's the she's sacrificing herself moment. But devil's advocate, I could also see that how that could be framed.
The show is not. I just don't think the show is, especially because it's got that scene where it's her and Mike being like, Mike, this can't go the way you want it to, and I'm going to do a big sacrifice, whether or not you want me to do a big sacrifice. And it's just, and to be fair, it could be a red herring, and it absolutely could be misleading us. But this show has never been that clever.
It's not that clever. No,
so
it's
the
far more likely thing is that she's sacrificing herself there.
It just seems like it wants you to think that Mike being killed off is the obvious thing, and it seems to it gives me the impression that it wants the audience to think that it's a binary choice when they both can die. I think that I've seen people like, is it going to be Will or is it going to be 11? And I'm like, it's probably going to be both. They're probably both going to go, and the show's going to think that's a twist.
Will is the one that got kidnapped in season 1.
Yeah,
right?
Supposedly they're going to answer why he was the one who got taken at the very beginning. Apparently this season's going to answer that. Hey man, it's a sick trailer. I will give it that. I won't take that away. The musical cues.
Yeah.
I'm gonna defend it to a degree because I did see a lot of people who were like, and maybe it's because I grew up in the '90s and what high school students are is flexible for me. But like I saw a lot of people being like, "What? You have all these grown adults in high school? It's unbelievable." And I'm all for giving them shit for taking 20 years to make this show. But like, nah, they look like television senior high school kids. Like it still looks believable that they're...
I mean that's not the thing that bothers me about this. Like the thing that not bothers, but the thing that like I just don't care.
I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna check it out. It's on Netflix. I have Netflix. I'll check it out.
We'll probably contrive a reason for this show to watch it, but like I'm not
maybe.
like
It's gonna. I'm not like.
I'm not like oh my God, I have to watch this. Like, I'm
Like
just kind of like,
that,
eh.
if every episode's like an hour 40, hour and a half, and there's 5 episodes, that's five things that consumes my week. I can't do both. Like when it's like 5, 6 episodes and they're 20 minutes apiece, sure, but it's 5 episodes an hour. That's a movie. It's a movie per episode, and I don't have time for that. Like unless that's all I do
Well,
is just
that's why
Stranger
I was
Things.
like, yeah, well, it would be like we both did it,
Even
and
then,
we deep dived the
yeah, we'd have to do it
conversation about it.
every segment is an episode because that's how we would have to do it. I would watch an episode a day. Yeah. I don't know how it would. I just don't know that that'd be feasible. But anyway, I yeah. I don't know. I'm not feeling.
I'm just
I'm
largely
not gonna lie
indifferent.
and say I'm not interested to see. I'm just really interested to see what characters die. Like I am willing
My
to
one
lay
thing,
money that 11 will die. Like
my
I
one
am willing
thing,
to.
my one thing about it is like it's been 12 years since I've seen the first dozen seasons. In order for me to remember what the hell is
I
going on
have
in this one,
no
I'd
interest in
have to go
going
back
back.
and rewatch it, and I just don't want
I just
to.
don't want to. I don't want to. I just don't want to. I'm gonna have to find a reason to. I think. Anyway.
Anyway,
Moving right along.
so
Mm,
I guess they're making a Paranormal Activity
how do
game
you know that
like
was good?
12 years too late.
How do you know that was gonna be a thing? Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, to be fair, wow, what is this? The thing about Paranormal Activity is it's scary because it's slow and it's not really an action heavy movie. Like I think that first Paranormal Activity is still creepy, especially if you watch it in like a dark room with the lights off. The later ones get kind of stupid, but this I don't understand. I saw the trailer and I'm like, yeah, sure, looks like a Paranormal Activity movie. To its credit, it feels like a
I
Paranormal
mean,
Activity
yeah,
movie.
it does. My thing is just I don't
Who is this
this
for?
it looks like a game that should have come out on the PlayStation 3 when Paranormal Activity came out. Like,
Yeah, but it's too pretty for
who
that.
is this? No, but I'm just talking in terms of like that's what it feels
Well, yeah,
like.
they haven't. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you're not
It feels
wrong.
like it feels like an early 2011, 2010 game that came out 15 years too late. I just don't why are we making this now? Paranormal Activity isn't that big
Well,
anymore.
they haven't made a movie since.
I
I
know,
mean,
that's what I'm
number of
saying.
years at this point.
It's not that big anymore. It would have
No.
made sense to make this during the height of Parent when you had like I would say I wouldn't have been surprised if this came out at around the time of Paranormal Activity 2. The
Yeah.
first movie's come out, it's still like it's in the public consciousness, the zeitgeist. Now a
Yeah.
second
This
one is
just
coming out and you have
came
a game
across
out at
like
the same time.
it was a
But like
script.
why are we making this in 2025?
This just came across like it was a script for a Paranormal Activity movie that didn't get made that they just turned into a video game. That's what it
I
looks
just
like.
the timing of it feels weird for
I
me.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But hey, man,
Otherwise, I mean,
for free
it
on
looks like
PlayStation 5, I'd play it.
it looks like one that if it was on PlayStation Plus and I could play it for free without
I would
spending any
absolutely
real money on
check
it,
it out. Check
I'd
it out.
download it, check it out, play it for
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
10
Why
minutes and
not?
get bored with it,
Why
you know?
not? Jordan, you're probably asking yourself right now on the show that we do weekly, is Mark Hamill going to be in a Star Wars movie that takes place after Luke Skywalker died?
You better not be because that sounds stupid and makes no sense.
Well, Jordan,
Oh man, this man who just happens to look like Luke Skywalker is just existing in the universe. And oh, was there actually a third Skywalker sibling?
uh,
What?
it's,
No,
it's Luke
stupid.
Skywalker's
If
twin
anything, it should
cousin, Duke Skywalker.
if anything, it should be like in the Old Republic or the High Republic or sometime long before
No,
where
Jordan.
it's like, okay, it could be a distant relative.
No, but Jordan.
That could maybe make
This
sense.
this movie takes place after Episode 9, when Luke Skywalker has been dead for several years. No, Luke Skywalker can't show up in this. But when asked, Mark Hamill says, "I just don't see any reason to. Let me put it this way. I mean, they have so many stories to tell. They don't need Luke anymore. I've had my time, and that's good. But that is enough. Good for him."
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't do any more deep fake de-aged Luke Skywalker, please. Stop it. I'm begging you, stop it. Don't do it. Nobody wants it.
Apparently enough people want it that they're talking about doing it, so stupid.
Interesting.
Stupid ad.
So, okay, I don't know if you know this, Jordan. There's been some pictures of him, and he has shown up before. You don't know the actor who. I don't think you know. I know the actor who's playing him, but you don't. You haven't seen The Bear or Shameless, right?
I don't think so.
And
Wait,
then you-
Shameless, is that one with Debbie Ryan?
No, no.
Okay, then no.
I don't think you've seen. But Jeremy Allen White, for the audience, is playing Jabba the Hutt's son, and who was in the last time Jabba the Hutt's son showed up was he got kidnapped in that animated
Clone Wars
movie. So now he's back and he's an adult, and they've been calling him. People have been calling him Jabba with muscles because he's basically Jabba the Hutt, but he's muscular. He's jacked. Is the whole idea. And so the question is, what's he gonna sound like? Will he speak? And apparently he will speak. He was asked if he did any vocal work to change his voice, and they said his voice will be changed post digitally.
Jabba the Hutt spoke. He just spoke in Huttese.
Maybe
So I think the real question you're wondering is, will he speak exclusively in Huttese like his father, or will he be like that other one, that gay one from Clone Wars, where he speaks in English?
Oh, you mean the one
the
who
one,
had
the one who talks like this,
Maybe-
and he talks
He made me
with the
think
New
of,
Orleans
the
lisp.
New Orleans drawl. It made me think of that character from that episode of King of the Hill. There's Robert.
Cousin
I do
Bill.
believe that I am catching the vapors. No! I love that bit. So interestingly, I don't know, man. I like Jeremy Allen White, and honestly, while I am utterly indifferent toward that Grogu and Mandalorian movie have to do a lot to impress me, Muscles the Hutt does kind of intrigue me a little bit. I'd be lying if I said it didn't.
I'm pretty sure Jabba's son is not called Muscles.
That's what I'm calling him. Coin in the name, Muscles the Hutt. So apparently, Jordan, and this is interesting, that that lantern show, that Earth-based lantern show,
The one that makes no sense, yeah.
yeah, apparently it's going to be told in different time periods. So what I hear is that's not going to be like, it's not going to be restricted to, oh, it's Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan is a grizzled old man. It sounds like maybe there'll be multiple storylines, multiple time periods where it bounces back and forth. Because the idea is supposedly that there's one ring. There's one power ring for Earth. So I'm guessing what that means is, my theory, is that you're going to get, like, kind of similarly to Arrow, where you'll get flashbacks, like sections of the episode, where it'll be young Hal Jordan and it'll be him with the ring, and then you'll get the modern day.
Word 7893. Yeah, Jabba's son is in the Clone Wars movie.
Yes, he is. Hello. But yeah, I think that they'll have the multiple narratives, so that way we can have a young Hal Jordan show up and be Hal Jordan, and not have to be like an old man Hal Jordan.
I mean, that's great and all. I still hate that it's terrestrial based. It should be in space.
But to be fair, maybe the Hal Jordan bits, maybe the level of terrestrial. What's the word I'm looking for? The level of terrestrialness has been exaggerated. Maybe like the young Hal Jordan stuff, you will see more space-oriented stuff.
Maybe, but I doubt it. Yeah. One word 7893 says, one green ring to rule them all.
Yes, well, that's what they're saying. That's apparently the through line is, it's about the ring passing from person to person. Is what they're saying about.
Yeah,
that
no,
show.
I just, if it's a TV show, I don't expect, especially if they've described it as terrestrial based. That to me,
Yeah,
means
that
we're
tells
gonna
me
be
you're gonna see the Green Lantern shit rarely because it's expensive. That's what that tells me.
Yeah, like we might get like one flashback scene where you see Hal Jordan on Oa getting the ring for the first time, and that'll be it.
Probably.
That'll be all the space stuff that you see. The rest of it will be on Earth.
I gotta say, okay. So
The only way that the Earth stuff worked for me is if you have if you have like an episode where he goes to Gotham and sees
The,
Batman,
the part that
or sees Superman or the Flash, or
the way this is the way they pitched this was that it was True Detective, but with Green Lanterns, and I go, okay, all right, until they're like Guy Gardner is gonna be on that show, and I'm like Guy Gardner, the Guy Gardner from Superman, the one that all the jokes are about his stupid hair and how dorky he is. That guy, that just feels like tonal whiplash. It's like when Lex Luthor shows up on Peacemaker and makes a joke about anal sex. It's like about prison anal sex and curses. It makes the tone of that universe feel weird. Where you're like, okay, well, if he's dropping F-bombs and talking about people getting butt fucked in prison on Peacemaker, he's PG in Superman, and it's this it's tonal for me. I understand it's probably just a me thing, but it's tonal whiplash to me, and it drives me crazy. Anyway, Jordan, would you like to take a stab at Batman and Wonder Woman costumes were
Guy Gardner, Ward 7893 says Guy Gardner, the comic relief in Peacemaker? Question mark.
Yeah, he's at the beginning in the first episode of Peacemaker, yeah. He's also in that. And it's the same deal. He's also goofy in that. So you're telling me he's going to show up on this Lantern show that's supposed to be a HBO style True Detective drama show, prestige drama show? It just doesn't work tonally. It feels off.
I mean, it kind of does. If you think about the fact that, like, in a lot of cop shows, you have the Jake Peralta, who is
not
the
True
Hal,
Detective.
who is the Hal, or even in the in the Rookie, for example.
Different kind of cop show though.
Well, that's what I expect this show will be like.
But it's not.
They're calling it one thing. I expect it will end up being more like that.
The idea behind it, as it was pitched, is it was supposed to be a serious drama. So
I don't
doesn't work for me. Anyway,
I don't think that's gonna happen on.
Moving on. At this auction, Jordan, they sold vintage Adam West and Wonder Woman costumes. And I kept this story because I thought it would be fun for you to guess how much do you think they sold for.
Adam West
Batman suit.
$1.5 million.
Wow. See, it's funny. It's funny, right?
Right, it's probably more than that.
No, see, that's what I thought. That's why your instinct went high, because you're like, it's Adam West Batman. It's a classic. Combined, the Adam West Batman and Burt Ward costumes only sold a combined 575,000. And I went,
no
that's a travesty.
Way.
That is a travesty. Those costumes are at least worth $1 million, especially if they're authentic.
I mean, when you think about the fact that, like, comic book runs sell for a shit ton of money, you would think that's a collectible item.
Like Cesar
Nerds
Romero's Joker apparently sold for $200,000 alone, $212,000 alone. Like Batgirl, 87,000 alone. And you're telling me Batman and Robin only went for $500,000? Travesty, absolute travesty. What are you doing?
That's unacceptable.
That is unacceptable.
That's unacceptable. It should have been at least $1.5 million.
Oh no, that's another story about Bat Fam. Who cares about Bat Fam? Bat Fam looks bad. I'm standing by that. That show looks bad. I don't care how you say.
I won't even stand. It's not worth the effort of standing. I sit by what I say.
There was an article comparing it to the Adam West Batman show. I'm like, that disrespects the Adam West Batman show. That at least knew what Batman was.
Whoever said that needs to have a ruler taken and slapped on their knuckles until it's red.
Interesting.
That feels like an adequate enough punishment.
Yeah.
Maybe for you too.
Just a light rapping and tapping.
You know. What's next, Justin?
So supposedly, and this makes sense, the Man of Tomorrow, the next movie that allegedly is going to contain Superman in it. There's been an update on who the villain is, and the villain is likely going to be. Who do you think it's going to be, Jordan? Who's the second most obvious Superman villain you could think of? That's not Lex
Batman.
Luthor. Okay. Villain.
Oh,
Not Lex Luthor. Come on, you know it. It's really
Brainiac.
obvious. There you go. It's probably gonna be Brainiac, which makes sense.
I would have also accepted Parasite.
But if you remember that movie supposedly is a Lex Luthor Superman team up movie, then you're like, well, what's the bad guy that Lex Luthor and Superman are gonna team up against? And
Batman.
It's definitely Brainiac. You smart ass. It's Brainiac. It's always going to be Brainiac. It's obviously Brainiac.
No, it could have. Joking aside, it could have been Parasite. Parasite works too.
Nah, he's not a Lex Luthor.
Parasite is a
bad guy.
Yes, he is. He is a.
No.
He puts a parasite. Maybe I'm thinking of a different villain. Parasite is the one where he puts a like a thing on everyone's chest and puts them into a dream state.
Oh no, that's Starro.
Oh, Starro.
Yes, Starro is very much a. Well, no, I don't think that's Starro. I think that the puts you in the
in the dream
state. The dream state, that's a different thing. Well, I think that might be a version of Star. Hold on. I wish I couldn't. That's
whatever it is. That's what I was.
But
thinking
yes,
of.
no. Parasite's the one who he absorbs Superman's powers.
Right. Which would be a Lex Luthor Superman team up.
I think it was a version of Starro.
That would be
of the Justice League episode, but I don't think that was like Starro the Commander. But it's Starro. I'm pretty sure it's Starro. Starro is a Justice League bad guy.
It would be one of those ones. Starro would be one of those ones where, and this would fit right in. Lex Luthor would unleash it, thinking he could control it, lose control, and then have to team up with Superman to stop the thing that he himself unleashed.
Yeah, it's true. Jordan, they announced that they are looking.
But Brainiac also makes sense.
Yeah. They're looking to make a Now You See Me TV show called Now You TV Me. It's not called Now You TV Me. I made that part up. But it's called. They're looking into making a TV show, and I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. I'd watch like a I don't know that you're gonna get like Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson and all the main.
Yeah,
cast,
I was gonna
but
say
if you introduce like a couple of side characters and you make it where it's like they're doing heists, but with magic.
So
I'm down for that. That sounds fun.
So, because forgive me, I don't fully remember, but the idea of the four horsemen is they end up in like a fraternity of this group or whatever, basically.
Yeah, they end
right?
up in like a secret society at the end of the second one.
So yeah, what I would
Morgan Freeman, spoiler alert.
What I would do is, you pay a one-time fee for either Morgan Freeman or one of the horsemen.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Heisenberg, whoever's the cheapest, and you have him be on a video screen once where he basically is like, okay, I don't know what the premise of the show is, but like, you guys, this is your initiation, and once you do this, you're in the club.
I mean,
and
that's
you
pretty much what it looks like.
You never have to show him again, and
pretty
and
much. That's
then
what it
they're
looks
just
like,
part of the world.
That's what it looks like this third one's about. So yeah, it just makes sense. We're like, yeah, now there's multiples of them, and it's a much bigger society. And yeah, I mean, you'd be like Limitless, where you have Jesse Eisenberg shows up for the pilot, and then it's about other characters that are magicians. And yeah, have it where every episode's about them doing a big heist. I'd watch it. That sounds fun.
But I just for me, in order for it to work, you have to, whether it be the Morgan Freeman character, whether it be one of the horsemen, you again, whichever one. I would have also taken Woody Harrelson, but you have to have one of them do an overlay video, which basically brings in these new characters, and explains why we care about them.
Yeah.
Whether that be he's bringing them in as his proteges, or he's bringing them in whatever, but like there has to be some connect. It can't be like one of those ones where it's like it doesn't have any connective tissue at all. There has to be some connective tissue for it to work for me.
Next, Jordan, Disney and Doctor Who officially revealed.
I heard they had a bad breakup.
They officially revealed that yes, they did indeed break up. This is true. That Disney and Doctor Who.
Disney dumped
and
Doctor Who.
The BBC took back Doctor Who, and apparently the big deal was low ratings, which is unsurprising.
Yeah, they
Which means
tried they
that
tried
of course, BBC is going to learn the wrong lesson, and the next Doctor is going to be a white man. Is
they
what's
tried
going to
way too
happen.
hard to Disneyfy that one. Too
But
much
they
singing,
didn't. That's
too
what's
much soft.
so frustrating. They didn't really Disneyfy all that much.
I
They
mean, they
they
did.
say
They
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 say
did.
that what the problem was, and this is what I agree with. This is the truth. It's nothing to do with Disneyfying anything. What it was
I disagree.
because if you're gonna be like they Disneyfied it, they made the Doctor a woman before they Disneyfied it. So no, they did
Oh
not
no.
Disneyfy it.
When I say Disneyfy it, I jokingly say I should clarify. I jokingly say that it's about like every episode having a Disney song. That's not really what I mean when I say they Disneyfied it. When I say they Disneyfied it, I mean they took a show which should have way more episodes than it did, cut it down to 8 episodes, and wondered why there wasn't any character growth or development in their show enough to have people want to come and watch it.
I would have said they Marvel.
That's what I mean when I say they
I would
they
I
Disneyfy
would
it.
have said they MCU'd it up because that's probably more accurate.
That's still Disney.
That's
That's
all,
still
yeah,
Disneyfying it.
yeah. But that's what it is.
They did it with Marvel.
Yeah.
They did it with like all of their properties.
Well, the reasoning though is, and they say this in this report, which is that the budgets are too high. That's the problem. The budgets are too. That's why the episode orders are shorter. Is because the budgets are too high, so they need to cut the episodes to make the budget, and that leads to the problems that you say, where you don't get the correct character development. But to be fair to Doctor Who, Doctor Who did not have that many more episodes. Unlike American television, which is like 20 episodes, Doctor Who, I think at its highest is like 12, 13 episodes, which is what
Yeah,
is
but
needed,
in
but
this
still.
but with this one, for example, like you have too many episodes that don't feature the Doctor.
No, but to be fair, that was a thing of, but there was
Yes,
two or
but you
three
noticed
more
it less
episodes.
because
You
there was
noticed it
more
less, yeah.
episodes that had the Doctor.
Also, to be fair, maybe you experienced this when you watched those episodes live, because those like specials, for example, like the David Tennant ones, came out like months and months apart. So it's not
Yeah,
like
but I
they
wasn't.
were.
I didn't live through that. So
So to be fair, Doctor Who has kind of always been sporadic, but they claim that as well, that Trudy Gatwa was never fully committed to the role, which I don't agree with.
that kind
do,
of that kind of comes across. Yeah.
I do think though that, yeah, I think that it was too high a budget for what they were doing, and too ambitious, I think. But a lot of modern Doctor Who is like that, where it's like, yeah, you guys need to get back to basics, simple.
Yeah, I think part of the thing for me
Daleks,
is
Cybermen.
it got messy, where it was like they kept trying to have these bigger and bigger things. Like you start with the toy master, and then like every one of them has to be this big thing which they have to
As
defeat.
soon as you're like, well, magic,
and
basically. I still haven't even. I have to watch the last season because I still haven't finished
and
it.
I think I finished the last season. And then yeah, there's a lot of it tries to do too much. I mean, the whole bi-generation thing is
Yeah.
messy.
Yeah.
The fact that like the entire time that we had this version of the Doctor, there was also David Tennant was just floating around, not helping for some reason.
Just
Um,
not helping.
just actively deciding not to help.
I'm sure he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Even though he had his own TARDIS and everything.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
And I'm not surprised, is I guess what I'll say. But yeah, you're probably right. It'll probably be the whitest of Doctors.
Oh,
next.
he's gonna be the whitest of Doctors. I guarantee. I guarantee you.
And a
like,
man.
They're gonna. Oh yeah, a man. Yeah, they're gonna have. They're gonna do the bit where David Tennant comes back and Billy Piper is there, and they're gonna merge together. And, I saw someone be like, they think that Judy Gott was gonna come back, basically. But I think they're gonna merge together, and the merged being is gonna be the next Doctor. It's going to be the whitest of men, just the whitest.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not. Then maybe they won't.
I'm pretty convinced.
But I'm pretty convinced.
You will be the.
I mean,
what
would be kind of clever, which they won't do. But what would be kind of clever is if so you have David Tennant, who is the whitest of men, and you have and I always get their name wrong, so I'm just gonna say you have the current Doctor. They bi-generate back together or whatever, and we get the next Doctor who is a mixed race person who's half like their parent,
See,
and one parent
that
is
would be
white,
funny.
one parent is black.
Biracial, that would be funny, but no, that's not gonna happen.
No,
It's
I
gonna-
said that it's way too clever for them. They
yeah,
would
it's
never do
way
that.
too
but,
clever to have a biracial guy. That would be funny. But no, yeah, yeah. There's no way Billy Piper's the 16th
what's
Doctor. There's
what
no
and
way.
on top of that, you know how the Doctor is usually one into one gender or the other. You have the bi generation, they come together and it's a biracial, bisexual like person.
I mean,
Man
again,
or woman.
they're
I
never ever
but
going to do that.
I think that would be hilarious.
Next, supposedly Jordan, they're making and it's funny because this is one of those ideas that feels like it was a leftover plot or script from a movie, and they're like, we could turn this into a show. But it's a spinoff of Hotel Transylvania called Motel Transylvania, where Drac and Mavis take a break from their Transylvanian haunts to set up a brand new resort for humans and monsters in the California desert. Vampires and sunshine, what could go wrong?
Okay. I mean, it's not the first show they've made. They had that other one that was in 2D.
Did they? Oh yeah, they did. The real question is Andy Samberg and Selena Gomez going to do this?
Yeah, and I mean, I doubt Adam Sandler will. So if Drac is there,
Oh no, it's gonna be the other guy. Guaranteed the other guy.
yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna bring in
Guaranteed the other
the what's his name,
Brian
Hainer.
Hull? Brian Hull.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I still maintain that was embarrassing for him, but that's just me. Anyway, I am utterly indifferent to that. I just thought it was funny. I was like, wow, this felt like it was gonna be probably gonna be Hotel Transylvania 5, and then Hotel Transylvania 4 did poorly, so it became a television show.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be
that's
the
the vibe it
first.
gives
It
me.
wouldn't be the first show that Adam Sandberg did. So I could see him coming back and doing it. For me, the one where I'm like, I just don't know is I don't know that I believe that Selena Gomez is coming back to do this.
I don't know. I mean, she's a TV person. She's currently on Only Murders in the Building. She's really busy, so.
That's where I say I don't know.
But also,
But-
I think they both came back for that 2D animated show that you mentioned. So
Did they? I don't
think
actually
so.
know.
I'm pretty sure. Jordan, you're never gonna guess who's getting their own movie. Who apparently has never had a movie before, but they announced coming to
Then
Hollywood.
it can't be you then because you've had one.
Yeah, coming to Hollywood, Jordan, big time Hollywood movie. Hello Kitty finally getting their movie. Fun fact about Hello Kitty: Hello Kitty
Is-
not a cat.
No.
Hello Kitty's not a cat.
No.
This person
No.
wears a cat costume.
No.
It's a canonical
cat.
fact.
No.
It's a canonical fact
No.
about
No.
Hello Kitty.
No.
The
No.
creator has confirmed
No.
this.
Hee-haw!
It is the
Hee-haw!
truth.
Hee-haw!
It is absolutely the
Hee-haw!
truth.
Nope.
It's a
Nope.
true fact.
Nope.
You could.
It's a cat. It's a cat. No.
It's not a cat.
No, it's a cat.
Also, I don't. It's funny because like I don't know anything about Hello Kitty beyond the fact that I vaguely remember
That it's
there
a
was-
cat?
That
Besides the fact that it's a cat, it's definitely a cat.
I
It's a
vaguely
cat.
remember the fact that there was a cartoon that I watched once when I was a kid that I kind of vaguely.
I'm
vaguely
aware
remember it.
of Hello Kitty
So
and
I don't
how it's
even
a
know.
cat.
I assume Hello Kitty is a female.
It's a
but
cat.
I don't actually know why are you denying this so much?
It's a cat.
Why are you so insistent it's a cat? Joe?
Because it's stupid. No. I'm
Clearly
sorry.
you're-
No,
clearly
it's a
you're-
cat.
Clearly you're aware of this. You're familiar
cat.
with this.
Yeah,
You've heard this
I've seen a clip where it's an interviewer doing an interview with someone who works at Hello Kitty, and she's like, "Yeah, it's just a little girl," and like I'm like, "No, it's not. It's a cat.
Wait, really?
It's a cat. Yes."
Is that the idea? It's a little girl who dresses as a cat?
No, she doesn't say in that interview. She doesn't say anything about dressing like a cat. She just called her a little girl.
Okay, but she looks like a cat.
It's a cat.
Like I will extend my suspension of disbelief enough to be like, it's a kid in a cat costume because I know nothing about Hello Kitty, so like that feels believable. But it's just a little girl. Then why is it called Hello Kitty? If it's just a little girl with cat ears, like somebody who's a Hello Kitty fan needs to come and explain this to me.
Because my thing is, I look at Hello
I'm too
Kitty and I
male
look at it.
to Google this. I don't want Hello Kitty in
I,
my
I,
Google
I,
search history.
I mean, that's fair. I look at Hello Kitty the same way that I look at Bluey, where it's like it looks like a cat. It's a cat.
I
It's a
mean,
cat,
it's
just like Bluey is a dog.
I mean, that's what I think. That's what I think.
Like I don't look at Bluey and think to myself, "Oh yeah, Bluey. That's that show about the little family that dresses up like dogs." No, they look like a dog, so they're a
Right, the
dog.
dog.
There's I don't I've never heard of an example of a thing with Hello Kitty where you see a zipper on the back and she unzips and becomes a little girl because she's a cat. She's an anthropomorphized cat.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Jordan,
Sorry, I blacked out there for a second and got Hello Kitty rage.
he's full board. Has had Hello Kitty rage. I didn't think that was possible. No, you felt that passionately about Hello Kitty. As a grown man who feel very passionate about Hello Kitty, you watch that will be the short that explodes. Is grown adult man with beard for some reason gets really passionate about Hello Kitty for some reason.
Because it's stupid.
Hello Kitty. Jordan, one of the writers, writer Jeff Loveness, revealed on a Reddit AMA one of the storylines that would have been in Kang Dynasty, but isn't because now that movie's not Kang Dynasty. Basically, it would have involved the Young Avengers defeating a version of Kang and being really stoked about it, only to find out that the particular Kang that they had beaten carried a little card that said to be patient with him. It was his first day as a Kang.
Oh. So they would have beaten him up and that turned him into a villain.
Wait, that's funny. That's a little funny reference.
That's
I like
cute.
that. That's cute.
Wait, what's that a reference to?
What, them beating up Kang?
No, the card.
Oh, I think they just thought it was funny. Because he's his first day on the job as a Kang the Conqueror. You know.
You gotta be kind. Be kind, rewind.
Gotta be kind of rewind. Now we're cutting that. I'm cutting that.
Snip, snip.
Snip, snip. We're cutting it. Oh yeah. We talked about this before, but I'm seriously really stoked for this, and I'm only stoked for this if it's like an actual musical comedy, like if it's a musical with musical numbers and all that. I'm not into this if it's just a comedy with music. You know what I mean? But it's the Paul Rudd Nick Jonas movie Power Ballad, where it's about a wedding singer and a former boy band star whose unexpected collaboration sparks both success and rivalry when one song changes everything. I love musicals. I want more musicals, and a musical with Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas just sounds like it's a fun time.
I think it could be fun.
Shh. Listen.
Shh.
And
Not a
Copan
doctor.
will tell you. It is
Not
the
a
story
doctor.
of a man, and a monster. That's it. That's the news. This is Jordan. I'm imitating Trump. I'm imitating a man in Asia. Jordan. I'm imitating a man in Asia doing an Asia dance. Everyone knows. They all know. This episode is sponsored to you by and brought to you by. First of all, as always, go check out. It's in the description. Wild Education. They still need help. Somebody think of the animals.
Why aren't you thinking of the animals?
You could donate a little bit, and that'd make them happy.
Think of the animals.
They're doing all kind. They need the help. Think of not every animal's cute and crawly and cuddly. Go
But that doesn't
them.
mean you shouldn't think of them.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't think of them. You should think of them. But also, this episode is also brought to you by, once again, check out a spur of the moment conversation with Briley. That is now live. We also need you to help us get to 300 so we can eat spicy hot sauce covered chicken nuggets or another such thing live on the air in front of our friends in 2 weeks. We want that for them to see us suffer live on the internet for you. You could be doing that. if you help us get subscribed. Tell a friend and have them tell a friend to subscribe to the Jordan. Let's do it together now. Subscribe to Jordan.
Subscribe to the Spur of the Moment
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, we nailed
Yay!
it. But yes, get them to subscribe to us, and then come to the 100th episode.
The 100th episode of the
extravaganza.
Spur of
For
the
the Spur
Moment podcast.
podcast.
There's definitely no delay.
There's no delay. In 2 weeks. I'm excited for that. It's going to be fun. We know at least Haley will be there. And maybe Jake.
And
perhaps-
maybe others.
and maybe perhaps some others.
Da 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 da.
We're going to see how many people we can have on a Zoom call before it gets laggy. Da 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 da. Hey, if you want to come to the 100th episode, let me know. We'll send you a Zoom link. On today's show, we're watching stuff, we're talking stuff, we're discussing stuff
And
that
things.
is based on a true story. Some to all or none of this may have actually happened.
And we probably won't tell you how much.
Or we will, who's to say?
But we probably won't.
Or
Whoa. I disappeared for a second there. There we go. Now I'm back on. Sorry, I'm watching our own video.
or there might be an element of this where we're like, this definitely happened. Or it didn't happen.
Okay, so I guess rapid fire. First movie that I watched came out in 2025. It's a biographical comedy drama film. And it had Vince Vaughn in it. Vince Vaughn was Vince Vaughning it up.
Who is
It's
Vince Vaughning it
called-
right
it's
the
called-
heck up?
It's called Nonas.
All right.
It's based on the life of Joe Scaravella, the owner of Staten Island restaurant Inoteca Maria. He risks everything to honor his mother, who recently passed away. And he opens a restaurant, an Italian restaurant with actual grandmothers as chefs.
Neat. I understand.
Sorry.
Picking it up.
I mean, it was fun. It was a fun movie, you know. It made me hungry.
Did it?
It did. It made me hungry. It made me watch them cook their classic grandmother style Italian food and go like, you know what? I could go for a pizza.
I could go for pizza. I do like pizza.
And so apparently it was released on Mother's Day weekend in the United States.
That's cute. I like that. That's fun.
And it was genuinely, it was really cute. And then the movie is about the struggles that he has moving into Staten Island. And so when he first opens the first night, he doesn't have success because the people on Staten Island think that he's taking advantage of the grandmothers there, and so they actively put the word out to not go there and not support them. And then the grandmothers go to their children, bop them on the head, and are like, "Hey, what are you doing? I'm doing this because I want to. Hey, ooh." And then the restaurant is quite successful, and as far as I know, it's still there to this day.
So how much like the real person is Vince Vaughn?
Well, being that I don't hold on, I could just click on this page and, oh no, they don't have a picture of him. I don't think they ever actually show him. Oh, no, they do. Never mind. Apparently during the credits, scenes from the real life Inoteca Maria are shown, noting that the restaurant has been open for 15 years and is now staffed by Nonas from all over the world. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm not sure
All
is
right.
the short answer because I didn't know that there was those scenes during the credits.
All right.
But it was an enjoyable movie. It was on Netflix, and y'all could take some time and check that out if you want to.
Y'all can find Jesus if you want. Y'all need Jesus.
I mean, nobody can find Jesus. Jesus is dead and in the ground.
He's over there.
I mean, that's
He's
impossible.
just
He's dead and
he's standing
he's
just
dead. He's a very real person who lived a life, died, and is in the
he's
ground.
just standing right
I
on
mean,
camera.
by
Sorry.
now he probably is the ground, but
Okay, Jordan.
anyways, that's known as
Nona. So, Jordan, number one. Really, we have to ask ourselves, what is a true story? Because my next movie,
a story that actually happened.
Jordan, my next movie is technically based on a true story. My next movie is a movie called Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear. Now, Jordan, here are the events that actually happened, okay? There was a
There
plane
once was a man from Nantucket.
who had a plane full of drugs, and they were going to be taken down for some reason, and they dumped the drugs out of the plane, and then a bear found the drugs. Now, Jordan, when the bear found the drugs in real life, he may have ingested the cocaine and immediately had a heart attack, and that was the end of it. That might have been what happened in real life, but Jordan, what
I mean,
happened in this movie?
that sounds very likely in what would happen in real
Jordan,
life.
what happened in this movie is the cocaine turned the bear into an absolute maniac coke fiend who just wanted to murder everyone
Another bump of cocaine, of course.
in the pursuit of cocaine and cocaine accessories, which, as we all know, Jordan, is
More
it's
cocaine.
just more cocaine. The bears just wanted cocaine. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Jordan, this movie's amazing. It's really good. It's basically one of those like super boa constrictor versus like crocodile. You know, like B grade like comedy horror movies. It's really violent. The only real criticism I have of it is it's got too many characters. So there's three kind of subplots in it. There's a mom who's a nurse who's got a little girl and her little friend who incidentally is the best character in the movie. She's got a little friend who at one point they find cocaine and he's like, yeah, I do cocaine all the time, and she's like, prove it, and he's like, all right. And then later on when he's with the mom, he's like, could they tell if the bear had done cocaine? And the mom's like, yes, the bear can. They can always tell when the bear's done cocaine. But I can't. I wish I could remember more of the more specific ones. But he's got some zingers, some one-liners that are just genuinely really funny. But there's him and eventually he finds the mom, and they're looking for the mom's daughter, the guy, the kid's friend, and then there's a drug dealer's son. A drug dealer played by Ray Liotta in one of his I don't know if it was his final performance, but like it's one of his final performances. And Ice Cube's son, and he's got the guy who plays Han Solo is his sidekick, and
the guy who plays Han Solo.
Yeah,
you mean
not Harrison Ford, but the other guy.
Oh, the young version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, you mean
No,
very famous
Ford.
actor Harrison Ford?
Not Harrison Ford, no. And they're looking for their basically was their cocaine that fell out of the plane. So they're looking for the cocaine. And there might be one more. I think that's it. And they're all looking for something, and they all run into the cocaine bear. And yeah, the cocaine bear, it's always an alright effect. It's obviously a CGI bear, and it tears people up. This is directed by Elizabeth Banks. It's like I'm not sure. I think it's her directorial debut. It has the energy level of someone on cocaine, and it is obviously not really based on a true story. Beyond the bear eating the cocaine, that's it. It becomes kind of fictional at that point. And like, yeah, the end of it, out of nowhere, Ray Liotta becomes the bad guy because the movie needs a bad guy, and it kind of comes out of left field a little bit. But yeah, it's super fun. It's super fun. It's super funny. It's super violent. It's a great time. It's totally worth checking out. Cocaine Bear.
Okay. Sorry. I just need to.
And Jordan, I need you to know that's not even the weirdest place we're going this week.
So uh,
You
I'm
didn't.
gonna not address what you
You
just
didn't. You
said.
didn't. You didn't question what I just said. You probably should.
Um, I'm just gonna roll with that. But so my next one is called The Post,
Is it about a
which
post?
it is about the Washington Post.
Oh, okay. So it's not about a post in the ground.
No,
So it's
no,
about the Washington
it's
Post. So
it's
let me
strange to
guess.
me. It's strange to me that that's what you think
It's
this
about a
would have been about.
really famous post. Jared, let me guess. It's a newspaper that uncovers some sort of scandal.
I mean, yeah, kind of. You know, they
That makes sense.
well, it's about it's set in I think in 70s or something, 1971. And it depicts the true quote, the true story of attempts by journalists at the Washington Post to publish the infamous Pentagon Papers, a set of classified documents regarding the 20-year involvement of the United States government in the Vietnam War and earlier in French Indochina back to the 1940s. So it's a big cover up, basically.
Big time cover up.
And so the New York Times comes out with these documents first, and this movie is about the Washington Post trying to catch up, basically, and get stuff out as well. And so leading actor and leading lady is Meryl Streep is as Catherine Graham.
Ooh, it's a Meryl Streep affair.
And you got Tom Hanks as Ben Bradley. So before
So,
you ask me how similar these people are to their real life counterparts, I can't really say because I'm going to be honest, I didn't look up any of the real people that these
I
movies
didn't for
tell you
everyone, but
about.
for some of them I did.
But what I will say is um Tom Hanks has been a lot of people, and I don't necessarily believe that they look like him.
I mean, sometimes you're surprised. Yeah, it was the funny bit about when I was doing, obviously picking movies for this week, how many of them had Tom Hanks in them. Like, a hilarious
He
amount
has
of them had Tom Hanks in them.
he has been a lot of
He's been a
people.
lot of historical people. Yeah, no, my first thing to do whenever I watch a movie that's based on a true story is to immediately be like, okay, how accurate is this?
See,
Maybe that's a better question. How accurate is this to real life?
that's where it's our ways of going about this are probably going to make this a little more interesting because that's not how I go about this. I go about this like being like, how good of a movie is this?
I mean, yeah, obviously that is always a question.
Um, so I forget. No, but I mean, like, I go into this actively trying to forget that it's based on a real
You
thing.
kind of, I mean, that, I mean, we're gonna get to this later, but you kind of have to. You kind of have to with
Um,
this because
and so in terms of this, like, yeah, no, like it leads up to that to the satisfying moment of of Meryl Streep's character being like having to decide whether or not she wants to go through and do this because she wasn't even originally supposed to be in charge of the paper. It belonged to her dad, and then her dad, when he died or when he retired or whatever, gave it to her husband. And
yeah.
then her husband died, and she just got it because of that.
But also like being aware of the real life story, also kind of, if you know it, well, if you know what it's a like the real story is, it makes a movie almost like sadder because you're like, oh, this is not going to end well. But you're right, it does kind of ruin a movie as well because you're like, well, I know that they're not going to figure out who done it because we didn't figure out who done it.
Yeah, like the one of my later ones
Yeah.
was like that. Although I argue they did find out who done it and they just didn't have time to actually prosecute him. But um,
You mean in this one?
I just mean in real
Oh, in
life
real life. Fair
for
enough.
for the Zodiac.
Oh, for Zodiac. Okay, we're gonna get to the Zodiac.
We're gonna get to there, but um, no, yeah. So I'm not. This appears to have won a few awards, so I'm assuming it must be fairly accurate. But
like being a good movie and being accurate are two different things. So it doesn't necessarily mean.
it doesn't even on this Wikipedia have an article where it compares it to the real life events.
Oh yeah,
So
usually you have to go to like they'll have a link to the real life events. Like if it's a famous event anyway, and you can usually be like, it's reasonably similar. Sometimes it's fairly obvious, other times it's not.
I'm just gonna blanket statement say that this was 100% how everything happened, and it happened exactly like it did on this screen.
All right, Jordan, is that the post?
That's the post. It was
That's the
good.
post.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Um,
It wasn't. There were some on my list which were definitely kind of boring and hard to keep my brain tracking.
yeah, some of them were
This
like that for
one,
me.
this one was definitely engaging.
Speaking of engaging, so that's great. We'll move right along into the Jordan. One of the most engaging topics someone could ever possibly talk about. Something so riveting and so exciting that we're fully going to understand it together, and that's the 2008 financial crisis.
That sounds. I wouldn't use
The
the
Big
word
Short!
engaging.
No, I'm kidding.
I
The Big
wouldn't.
Short.
I wouldn't use the word engaging,
Um,
but
We're talking about The Big Short, which, okay, all right. Number one, yeah, I'm not American. Now, here's the thing about the 2008 financial crisis. I do remember it. Like, I remember being reasonably socially aware. Like, at the time in high school, like, they taught us how to buy stock. We had an entire section in one of my classes devoted to teaching us how to buy stuff on the stock market. It was like a project in high school. So, like, I remember it happening, but like I never understood it, and I'd be interested to know. This is one of those times where I'd love to know what Jake thinks about this movie, and just be maybe he can explain it, because off the top, I enjoy this movie. We've often talked about how much I love a good fourth wall break. This movie's really great. There's times in the movie where it'll be like, you don't understand any of this. Like, it'll just cold stop to explain a concept or an idea to you. At one point, I explain.
yeah, Wolf of Wall Street does that.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street does a very similar thing. But this one's more prolonged, where it's like, it'll be like, you don't know what, I can't remember what, the whole thing's based on a particular financial concept, but I'm going to call it a CFO.
This means nothing to you.
Yeah, I can't remember what the actual acronym is. I'm going to call it a CFO. Like, you don't know what a CFO is, so here's Margot Robbie in a bathtub to explain it to you, in a bubble bath to explain it to you. And then for like 4 minutes, Margot Robbie in a bubble bath explains a financial concept to you. And you're like, the problem is they say these acronyms so much, and yeah, the movie does stop to explain to you what it means, but still, it does like a very surface level explanation. So there's just so many times where I'm like, I don't get this. Like, they keep saying that this is gonna destroy the world and like cause a worldwide economic collapse, and every economy in the world is gonna collapse, but it for me, as a person who doesn't get this, it just seems like it's just a bunch of men that saying that will happen, and then it happened. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, this only happened because you guys just said it did. Like, there's no.
I mean, yeah, that's how money works. Things only matter because we all
Right?
agree that they matter.
And then,
Otherwise, just pieces of paper.
And then the thing that inevitably, I'm just gonna bounce around here, but the thing that inevitably prevents the crash is that they all these Wall Street guys. Okay. Basically, according to this movie, what happened was, all of the there's all these subprime mortgages that were bad mortgages and bad loans. And the movie never really explains what that means, like what makes a loan bad, but they just said there are a bunch of bad loans that are on the verge of defaulting, failing. And I guess that's based on, like, they would give loans to people who had no means of paying it back, just to make money off of them, to make the banks rich. I'm doing a very poor job of explaining this. I'm sorry. And one guy discovered really, really early on, played by Christian Bale, that all of these loans were going to fail, and I don't know if you remember the GameStop thing where they shorted the stock.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Well, they shorted they basically bet against the government and shorted all of these mortgages. So they knew it was going to fail, and then the government just said that it didn't fail. So like all these guys in this movie, this movie is basically devoted amongst three different kind of storylines. So there's Christian Bale, there's Steve Carell, there's Brad Pitt, and two other guys, and they all essentially like saw that the economy and all of these loans were gonna fail, bet against it, and then made a bunch of money off of it. And they're like, oh, like if we do this, if we go through with this, it's going to effectively like destroy the American economy. We're going to make a bunch of money. And at one point, Brad Pitt gets pissed. Like, you guys are cheering like for this, but you're not seeing all the negative consequences of like if we of all the people who are going to like lose their homes and lose their insurance and lose all this thing. We're like destroying all these people's lives for what? But then they do it anyway. Like, it's weird. Like they Steve Carell is like, he plays this kind of this character who is based on a real person, but it's not their exact name. And at one point he's like, yeah, we're doing this awful thing, and his whole bit, the whole movie, is he's bitching about the system and how awful the system is, but he's participating in the very system he's complaining about, and it's just hypocrisy.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like that sounds extremely realistic, and like it was definitely based on real life.
Yeah, but that's what's really cool. What's really cool is when I was reading about this movie, is it is apparently 92% accurate to real life. Like, apparently a lot of this movie just happened. But the thing I love about it is, yeah, again, there's moments in the movie where the movie just goes, like, it just stops and the character looks at the camera and goes, look, this isn't exactly how it happened. It probably happened more like this, with these guys in this place. But who cares? That's not the point. This is the point. And I was like, oh, that's neat. That's fun. And yeah, it does take concepts and ideas that are, I mean, I still found it confusing, but like it dumbs them down enough to where you're like, okay, I kind of understand what's going on. But yeah, it's just my main issue is it's just like, it's a lot of like them saying bad things are happening, where you're like, they just kind of like, you just kind of got to take their word for it. They're the guys who know what they're talking about, and they're saying this is bad without actually explaining it to you fully, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, again, I don't know how to. That just sounds like real life.
You explained you experienced probably a similar thing in Wolf of Wall Street. We'll talk about later, where they just say a lot of acronyms. They're like, yeah, it's an IBCB, and you're like, what the heck is that? And they say what that stands for like once, but then like 30 minutes later, after they've said a bunch of other acronyms, so I spent a lot of time watching the movie Googling what these acronyms meant, because I'm like, they keep saying random combinations of letters and just saying that they're bad without actually saying why they're bad.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I just subprime loans that are picked up and blah blah blah. And you're like, none of these words mean anything to me.
That's where, for me, like at a certain point, that's just movie jargon.
Yeah.
Or like it doesn't. In terms of like, I'm watching this like it's a movie. It's just stuff that they're saying to tell you how bad it is.
Well, like, I will give this movie this. Like, I found this highly entertaining. It's totally worth checking out. But it did make this stuff kind of approachable, where you're like, okay, yeah, I do actually kind of feel like I learned something. So I appreciated that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The Big Short. That was The Big Short. Worth checking out.
All right.
It's also, by the way, not the weirdest thing I watched this week. You know what, Jordan? We're gonna add an additional game to this. I'm gonna let you guess what is the weirdest thing I watched this week, and you're gonna guess it when I say it. I guarantee it.
Okay. So my next rapid fire is called Everest, and then wait,
let me guess. It's about climbing Mount Everest.
What? What gave you that idea?
Honestly, that seemed too obvious. It seemed too obvious to me, so it felt like a swing.
Technically, it's about surviving Everest, but
so it's not about rich white people who just decide to climb Mount Everest?
So on the poster underneath, it actually very specifically has based on the incredible true story. So that was like on the poster as a selling point.
I mean, all right.
It's based on the 1996 Mount Everest disaster. Eight climbers died, and the movie focuses on the survival attempts of two expedition groups, one led by Rob Hall, and the other by Scott Fisher, who Scott Fisher is played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal,
Jake Gyllenhaal?
which so um this one was kind of, I don't want to say boring, but the first half of it, the part where they're trying to climb up, they spend a lot of time going up and then coming back down to base camp and then going up and then coming back down to base
I mean, yeah,
camp.
that's what climbing Mount
Um,
Everest is like.
yeah, I get that, but in terms of watching a movie, it gets a little tiresome, and I just want to see them hit the peak.
Come on, get to the top
Um,
already.
and then, yeah, they hit the peak, and then some of them get stuck up there, and they don't have enough oxygen tanks to get back down, and so they're slowly freezing to death. And long story short, eight of them died, and their bodies, as far as I know, are still up there.
Oh,
Um,
oh no.
um,
I mean, they're
that's
not.
that's
They got eaten by animals and
that's
killed by
one
a
of the
yeti because yeti is definitely real.
when you get to the end of the movie and it gives you the little like blurb about what happened to certain people.
You're
um
like, this guy dead.
yeah, closing titles reveal that uh the one of the guy, um I don't remember which one it was, Beck, whoever Beck is, returns to his family heavily bandaged because he has bad frostbite, and eventually lost both hands and his nose to frostbite. And in that little blurb, it says, and that Rob's body remains on Everest.
Oh no.
Um, and
Oh no.
so it's, yeah, I mean, I I don't have any desire to ever try and climb Everest.
I never have.
That sounds really, really
I don't need
hard.
to say I did that. I'm good. Thank
Uh,
you.
so I'm good. Um,
On the list of things I
also,
never need to do in my life, it's on there along with jumping out of a plane.
y yeah,
Unless there's an asterisk to that. I would consider these activities for money.
even then, it would need to be a lot of
It would
money.
have to be an extensive amount of money, like just a large
Um,
sum of money.
but so
More than
there's a
six zeros
point.
is what I'm saying.
There's a point in the movie where they're like, we're gonna try, like they were down a certain degree on the mountain. They're like, we're gonna try and fly a helicopter up to like pick you up and bring you guys back, which kind of made me realize that I don't fully understand how helicopters work. Um, because I'm like, why would it struggle?
I
Like,
mean,
why
it
it's
creates
designed to
downdraft, which
fly.
it flies down and then
It's designed to fly high in the sky. I don't understand. And I'm like, and then I sort of came to the realization that I was like, I know Mount Everest is high, but I guess I never really thought about how high it
oh,
is.
very high.
Um, and it kind of made me,
I mean,
yeah,
I believe air. I think the thing with helicopters is they can't go as high as airplanes.
no, they can't because they're not designed to. Because basically they have to a an airplane has, for one thing, it has jets like rockets which are pushing it in some cases, but even just in terms of normal like biplanes and stuff, the propellers are pulling it, whereas at least this is my understanding, the propellers are pulling it, whereas on a helicopter it's pushing up on the weight of the helicopter, so
Oh,
it's harder for a helicopter to gain lift as a result.
so this movie ended with you googling how helicopters work.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
it did.
That's really funny.
This movie about a tragedy on
That's what I'm
Everest
saying, Jordan. The show makes us a
had
little more
me
well-read every single week,
had me wondering why the helicopter was having difficulty getting up there to save them.
right? That's funny.
Um,
That's so funny. That's very funny.
and so as it gets higher, the air is too thin, so it can't gather enough of the friction and the oxygen to push down in order to be able to fly properly. That's my understanding of it anyway.
That's funny. Also,
But that's Everest.
also, you're gonna find this funny. It's sunny out.
Of course it is. Of course it is. That figures. Anyway.
Anywho,
So yeah, it was a tragic event. Seems to be quite real.
yeah.
And it was a movie.
It was a movie. So, Jordan,
Came out in 2015.
I need to look up the kid's name. My next one is a movie called Alpha Dog, starring the young God, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, deceased Anton Yelchin playing Zach Mazursky. It's a based on the murder of Nicholas Markowitz, based on his murder. It stars Justin Timberlake. It's got Ben Foster and Emile Hirsch, and the plot of it is Ben Foster plays Anton Yelchin's brother, and he's a drug-addled, unhinged lunatic who owes Emile Hirsch money. This is one of those cases where this happened. This was based on a true story, but all of the names were changed. So the guy who actually did it was named Jesse Hollywood, and in the movie his name gets changed to Johnny Truelove. And so the Anton Yelchin's brother owes money to Johnny Truelove, and he doesn't give him enough, and they get into this massive fight where they beat each other up, and it becomes this feud. And so in retaliation, Johnny Truelove, Emile Hirsch, kidnaps Anton Yelchin and holds on to him until he can theoretically get the money from Ben Foster. And essentially, kidnapping kind of just like leads to he hangs out with all the associated people around Johnny Truelove, Justin Timberlake. And as they hang out, as they hold on to him, they become attached to him, and ultimately it ends in Anton Yelchin's murder. Because they are the dumbest criminals alive. The movie's I quite like it. The performances are good. Anton Yelchin is really good. Justin Timberlake, and this is like he's trying to have an acting career. Justin Timberlake, he's surprisingly good in this. There's a moment at the end, which I'll get to in a moment, which is really quite heartbreaking. It's a really heartbreaking and kind of upsetting movie, because you obviously know that this kid has to die at the end, because you know the premise of the movie. You know the movie is about this kid's murder, and as he becomes closer to these people, it becomes more and more tragic that he inevitably has to die. It's also a thing of like I don't know if you experience this. Do you have moments where like it's one of those movies where they have an adult playing a kid who is too young? So like all of this stuff that I'm going to describe some stuff that happens to him in this movie, but he's 15 years old.
The actor or the character?
The character's 15 years old.
Okay.
And so that allows, but it's Anton Yelchin kind of roughly start just before he does Star Trek. You obviously know who Anton Yelchin is, right?
No.
You know Chekhov in the Star Trek remake? Weekter.
Oh yeah.
It's around that time. I think it's right before he does Star Trek-ish.
Okay.
So he looks like an adult, basically. He kind of looks like Tom Holland, actually. He was a lot like Tom Holland. He died very tragically. He was opening his gate, and the parking brake on his car failed, and it crushed him.
Oh, that's sad.
I know, it's really quite tragic. Like utter loss, utter shame, utter shame. Taken well before his time. Very talented young man, but he looks like an adult. And so when he does stuff in this movie, you're like, oh, they remind you a few times he's 15, but like it doesn't feel as problematic because you're able to disconnect Like it's like in Boy Meets World when they're clearly adults and they're in high school, or like Grease.
Yeah.
One of those where like you're like, oh yeah, you keep having to remind yourself he's 15. This is fucked. He's drinking and doing drugs with these people, and like
Yeah.
at one point pardon the expression, the climax of the movie, he ends up having a threesome in a pool with two girls.
Oh my.
Yeah,
But he's 15
Yeah,
and
they're
it's statutory rape.
they're 17, so it's within a range where you're like, I guess it might be not weird, but it still feels weird to me. But also, I'm an adult, and if I was 15, I'd be like, high five, dude. So like, it's a hard thing to
yeah,
like.
if they're supposed to be 17, then they're also high schoolers.
They're also in high
so
school.
It's not necessarily weird that they're doing it. It's just in this instant what makes it weird,
weird.
what makes your brain feel icky is the fact that you are essentially watching a voyeur, like you're a voyeur watching high schoolers
minors have sex. Yes, that's an excellent way to put it. Yes, that's what it is. Yes, it's like I'm watching minors do it, and that makes me feel weird, even though they probably weren't. It's Amanda Seyfried. This movie came out 2008.
No, but the intention is
But the intention is for it's a minor losing his virginity. Yes, it's weird. It feels weird.
And you're the creepy 35-year-old weirdo who's watching it from the corner.
The scene is played as being, I'm saying erotic makes me feel icky, but that's the way it's portrayed. Intimate. Thank you. That's a much less creepy way of putting it. Thank you. If the scene is intimate. So it's weird. It's weird because like, ooh, he's 15. I've spent a lot of time on this. I'm moving on. Oh yeah, that's it. The Johnny Truelove's dad is Bruce Willis. It's played by Bruce Willis, and the mom is, I think, Sharon Stone. They're in this. They're hamming it up. For some reason, the movie has this.
It makes it extra weird that it's based on a true story too. So the not to go back to it, but yeah, those are real people.
Yeah,
presumably.
Yeah, presumably.
So,
yeah, exactly. But the
makes
movie
it even
has
more
this
weird
framing device where it's framed as though all of the scenes with the characters are like reenactments, because periodically it'll cut back to characters being interviewed as if they're being interviewed for like a documentary, but they're fictional. It's very strange. Like the opening is Bruce Willis being interviewed by these people about where his son is, basically, and the movie is essentially like the talking heads of a documentary telling the story while also the fictional parts of the story happen. It's very strange. But they kidnap the kid, and the kid is hanging out with Justin Timberlake and all of his friends. One of his friends is the guy from The Girl Next Door with like emo hair. It's really funny. And they're hanging out with him, whatever, and they're becoming close, and they're whatever, and the Anton Yelchin is basically having conflict with his mom, who won't stop treating him like a kid, and so he wants to act like an adult and whatever, and so Johnny goes to a lawyer and it's like, oh yeah, you've kidnapped this kid, you like, the entire concept is once they get the money back from Anton Yelchin's brother, they'll let him go, basically, and they'll like take him home, let him go, all cool. And he goes to a lawyer, and who says that if they take the kid back, the kid's gonna run to the police and they'll go to prison for life. Basically, you're gonna get life in prison. And I'm like, I don't think you will get life in prison, like for like aggravated kidnapping. And the kid, it's not really a kidnapping because he's been very consensual in all of this, and he went with you willingly for a lot of this. So it's really like, you can make the argument you're just hanging out with him like a friend. So it's not really a kidnapping if you were to argue this in court. So like, you might get like a couple years or a year maybe, but you're not getting life in prison. Not for a kidnapping where the victim walks away alive and unharmed and happy. in his case,
probably.
He walked away pretty happy.
I don't know well enough to make empirical statements, but probably you're probably correct.
Yeah, exactly. I can't say for sure, but with my limited, and also it's American, their legal system's different. But very basically, like, I don't think he's gonna get life in prison anyway.
Like, he could get like 5-10.
The entire movie, there's a character called Elvis who
out
basically
at 3 with good behavior. You know,
he owes Johnny True Love a lot of money, and he's been kissing his ass the whole movie. And so Johnny True Love goes to him and is like, yeah, we need to take care of the kid. And he's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, we need to nix the kid. And so they're all
That got
convinced.
dark.
Well, yeah. They're all convinced that they're just gonna take the kid home at the end of this. And the entire movie, like at one point, he offers Justin Timberlake a bunch of money to take care of the kid. And Justin Timberlake's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. He's like, obviously, I'm joking. And so yeah, he convinced this sycophant guy to do it. And he takes Justin Timberlake out there, out to the middle of the desert or whatever. And he's like, I'm not helping you dig a grave, dude. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, we're not doing this. We're not
digging
doing
my
this.
own grave. No.
And so then he takes one of the Justin Timberlake's friends out there, and he's like, I need you to help me do this thing. And he's like, what are we doing? Like, digging a hole out in the middle of the desert. Then they go back, and Anton Yelchin is like drunk and high or whatever after partying, and in post-coital whatever, after partying all night. And he's drunkenly like, oh man, I'm gonna be so much nicer to my mom, and I'm gonna change my whole life. I'm gonna pick up a skill. Like, this has changed my entire outlook on life. And like Justin Timberlake has like become really, really close to him, like really, really close to him. And yeah, they take him out to the desert, and he's like, what's going on? And he starts to get wise. He starts to panic, and yeah, it's legit upsetting. Like, he starts begging for his life, and like they walk him up to this grave that they've dug for him, and Justin Timberlake's like crying, like, oh, don't worry, dude, I'd never hurt you. They like duct tape its mouth. And Anton Yelchin's performance is phenomenal. Like, he's so good in this scene of like just the utter terror of this moment. And for some reason, when Johnny True Love was like, you need to go take care of the kid, he gives Elvis an Uzi.
Like Elvis, like,
No, the character's name is Elvis. But
okay,
he gives
sorry,
him instead of giving him a pistol, something discreet, he gives him an Uzi, a machine gun.
Like this by like this.
That Uzi is like, it's like about this big. It's like a decent sized gun, but it's like a little machine gun.
It's not subtle.
No, so he shoots the kid and he goes. And so everyone here, like, there's two, like, as the movie goes through, it like every once in a while it pops up with text being like witness 1 and witness 2, and the last 2 witnesses are hikers that definitely heard the Uzi, and the Bruce Willis finds Johnny True Love, and it's like, you gotta call this off. You're a moron. And he Uzis the kid, and then the cops immediately arrest them because they're the dumbest criminals alive. Like, the entire time they're driving this kid to be executed, he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna rat you out. And no, he wouldn't have, because from his perspective, this was a dope weekend that ended in a threesome with 2 women. Like, why would he complain about this? It's the greatest weekend a teenager could ever have.
Things were going very, very well for him.
Things were going very well for him. You didn't need to do this. Like, you didn't need to do this. Like, what are you doing? And then, yeah, all of the surrounding people. And then, ironically, the character that Justin Timberlake is based on, it does the little text at the end of what happened to everybody. And it's like, yeah, he went to prison for life. So the whole reason he gets convinced into going through with this is because he didn't want to go to prison for life. And he ironically went to prison for life. If they just let him go, they all would have been fine. Dumb. I really enjoy this movie. This is one that I will fully concede. Again, I always talk about this period of my life, but I used to work in the movie theater, and there's a lot of movies I only watched because there were boobs in it. And I'm not gonna lie, I walked in on this movie and there were boobs in it, and I was 17. Get off my back. And I was like, I need to watch the rest of this movie, and then I did, and I have always enjoyed this movie.
So was this the craziest one?
You would think it would be. You think it would. There's a moment at the end. There's several really. It's also like it legit upsetting ending, like legit. But it's also funny. There's a lot of really funny lines. There's a funny bit after they kill the kid where Johnny's on the run and he's dyed his hair blonde, and this movie has Olivia Munn in it. Is his girlfriend. Olivia Munn is that movie where uh, what's his face? Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman swap bodies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know the
Yeah.
coworker that he's into.
Yes.
That her. I'm pretty sure that's Olivia Munn. I'm pretty sure that's her. I'm pretty sure it's her. She's in
Okay.
this. She's in this as Johnny Truelove's girlfriend. And there's a bit where they're on the run and they're bored in a hotel room. She's like, "You want to do it?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And they go to do it, and the ungrossed version of this is he is unable to do it, and she starts yelling at him for it, and he goes, "Suck my dick," and she goes, "I already tried that, it didn't work." I'm like, solid comeback. But there's some legit funny jokes in this movie. Like I enjoyed it. I was like, I hate to say I had a good time, but I do quite like this movie. But yeah, the big surprise of this is Justin Timberlake. Solid performance. No, not the weirdest movie I saw this week, but solid guess. I can see why you would think it would be.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
That's it. That's Alpha Dog.
Okay. My next one is called Number 24.
Any relation to the number 23?
No.
Were you expecting me to ask that?
No.
Really? I wouldn't.
So this is a Norwegian movie.
Oh.
Which was in English, or at least it spoke in English. And if it was dubbed at all, I couldn't tell. But it's Norwegian biographical feature film.
Yeah, a lot of other countries, especially the European ones, like every Italian movie I've seen thus far, it says it's from Italy and it just ends up being in English. I think it's because they just know that more people are going to watch it if it's in English.
Yeah, I think also for some of the countries, English is their second language.
Yeah, that's not incorrect.
But so okay, before I get into the actual movie, I'm not afraid to admit that there are times where I find myself ignorant about certain things or unknowledgeable about certain things. So this movie really kind of made me aware. I never really thought about or realized just how far Nazi Germany's reach ended up being.
Yeah. I've had similar experiences of that in regards to like, man, I think I said the same thing of Italian fascism, where I'm like, man, it all looks the same when you get down to it.
Yeah. So this movie, it really focuses on, and this is where I say I was unaware. I never realized Nazi Germany reached as far as Norway.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They had Norwegian Nazis.
Huh. I did not know that. Jake is watching this video screaming, going, "Yeah, obviously!" But no, I didn't know that.
And so this movie is about the Norwegian resistance fighter. I'm gonna butcher the name. Gunnar Sonsteby.
Oh, that was great.
The O is the O with the line through it. So I don't know if I got that right. The movie follows the campaign of him and the resistant fighters that he ended up with throughout World War II. And the way that the movie frames it is basically it's present day him, and he's giving like a college lecture to school students.
That's fun. That's fun. That's a fun framing device.
And so it'll cut back to him, and the students will ask questions and stuff.
That's neat. I like that. That's fun.
And then he continues telling the story.
Fun is not the right word, but that's interesting. I like that. That's clever.
Entertaining. I guess is maybe the
prevents it from being boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
this what replaced? Yeah. Is this the one that you replaced Schindler's List with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds way more. Fun again is not the right word.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it was, and I mean, again, just learning something new insofar of the fact of kind of becoming aware of how far the reach went, and some of it really this movie kind of from Gunnar's perspective, the question of how far would you go to do the right thing, and his kind of the byline or whatever, the thing that he says in the movie is as far as you have to.
Very fair. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a rough part of history, man.
Yeah, and this movie really emphasizes that they fought as dirty as they had to.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a lot of explosions, a lot of doing what resistance fighters do.
Which is
Uh,
explosions.
a lot of taking out Norwegian people in power who had betrayed their country. Um, yeah, it was a rough time, but it was again, you're right, entertaining is the wrong word, but I would say, I guess I would say
Engaging. I like engaging. Yeah. Engaging.
engaging feels less
I
inappropriate.
don't. I don't. See, the thing is, when it comes to movies about history, like I don't like being like, oh man, I get like sometimes you want an unflinching version of history, but like I just for me, if it's a little softer, it's a little more entertaining for me. Like I get that history was harsh, but like yeah, I like it when my historical movies are a little softer. You know.
um and so yeah, no, this very much this originally released in Norway on October 30th, 2024,
Oh,
and
this is fairly recent.
it became available on Netflix in 2025.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um,
Fair
and
enough.
it has an approval rating of 100% on Rotten Tomato based on 11 reviews.
All right. No, pretty solid. Solid. It's a solid recommend.
Solid solid recommend. It's on Netflix. It's easy enough to watch if you have Netflix, and it definitely wasn't the worst thing that I watched this. Well, actually, for the most part, I enjoyed most of what I watched this week.
Um. So okay.
Enjoyed is the wrong word, but you know what
Enjoyed.
I
I was
mean.
never bored.
Yeah.
I can
Well,
I kind of was.
I was through like one
I
or
kind of
two,
was
but
during one. Yeah, one I kind of was, but that it's we'll get to it. Jordan, is that it?
that is it for that one.
So for those of you for long time viewers of the program, you'll know that we often go for our man, our former hero, childhood hero. He's still my childhood hero. Jim Carrey, the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Carrey. We often go for him, and my number one thing is, and this is gonna sound like a dig, and it is a dig, but okay, this movie I'm about to talk about, I believe he should have won an Oscar for, or at the very least, he should have been nominated for an Oscar because I have positive things to say about him. That is that I'm gonna bury the lead. I don't usually, but I will have positive things to say about him. After I say Jim Carrey desperately wanted to win an Oscar. He desperately, desperately wanted to win an Oscar. So he did a
I mean,
series of movies that he thought was going to win him an Oscar.
yeah, I mean it comes across even in like when you go and watch that interview about Man on the Moon,
Yes, exactly.
where
Man on the Moon. He thought he
where
was going to win an Oscar for Man on the Moon.
it well it becomes apparent that like I don't think he even so much cared about winning the Oscar. He wanted to be seen as more than just haha funny man do
Yes,
silly
absolutely.
things.
So like he did The Majestic. He did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He did all of these movies where it was very clear he wants to win an Oscar. And this
Yeah,
one,
again, I don't think he cared about the Oscar itself. I think he wanted the validation that the Oscar brings.
yeah, whatever. But he wanted to. The important part is he wanted to be Academy Award winner because there's a bit where he goes to the Golden Globes and he wanted to be Academy Award winner Jim Carrey. And this is the movie I swear he wanted it to be his Brokeback Mountain. There's the next hint. This is I Love You Phillip Morris. It is going to be a struggle to find a PG rated trailer for this. Oof. I remember the first time I saw a trailer for this movie. It caught me off guard. Okay, YouTube is gonna not love this video, and I'm gonna do my best to do this in a PG fashion. So, I Love You, Phillip Morris. Stars Jim Carrey and Ian McGregor. It is based on a true story of a con man called, I'm gonna say Russell Stevens until I get the name. Hold on.
Russell
Pretty sure
Stevens.
it's Russell Stevens. Just give me a second. I had it pulled up, and then I googled Alpha Dog. Stephen Russell. Jim Carrey plays a man called Stephen Russell, who is a famous con man, and Jim Carrey is just up top, really good in this movie. Like, really good. Like, to the point that, like, he, more than anything, blends into this role. Like, he becomes Steven Russell. Like, it hits a point where you forget he's Jim Carrey. At least I did. And that is the hallmark of a good performance. But the big thing with Steven Russell is, the story starts off with he is a Bible Christian man who gets married in a heterosexual relationship with Leslie Mann, and they have a kid. And whilst on the way home, he gets in a car crash, and he accepts the fact that he is a very gay man. A flamboyantly gay man. A unbelievably gay man. And so, me praising this movie endlessly comes with the asterisk that there is a great deal of graphic gay sex in this movie. Just like, if you don't feel comfortable with the notion of watching Jim Carrey participate in graphic gay sex, this is not going to be the movie for you.
I'm gonna pass.
However, there's only one scene that's really particularly graphic. It does go on for a while. There's a couple other scenes where it's more implied. There's some kissing between Ian McGregor and Jim Carrey. But yeah, it does get kind of where I was like, oh man, I'm not like this. If this felt like he was going for his Brokeback Mountain. He was like, because of my knowledge, Brokeback Mountain is not overly graphic, but this was like, yeah, man, you're like, whoa, never gonna look at him the same way. But it is an undeniably funny movie. Like, it is really funny. Like, you could fast forward through that bit. It's fine. But there's a lot of really funny rug pulls. Like, so many funny rug pulls. Like, there's a bit. So the story of this is, yeah, he realizes his that when he gets in his car crash, he has this epiphany and realizes that he's going to live his life to the absolute fullest and be the person he is, which is a gay man. And he discovers that the only way, or that being a gay man, the way he wants to be a gay man, is very expensive. And so he becomes a con artist, a very good con artist. And it eventually catches up with him, and the movie is really cool, really good, because it's Steven Russell telling the story of his life. But Steven Russell is a narcissistic liar. So it is a really excellent, unreliable narrator story. Where, like, he's telling the story basically from his deathbed. You think that he's on his deathbed dying of AIDS. So it's him telling the story of his life and how he met Phillip Morris, played by Ian McGregor, who he meets in prison. And Phillip Morris is in prison for, and this is what I don't understand, like, Steven Russell eventually ends up getting out of prison before him, but he's in prison for extended period of time for not returning a rental car. So I don't understand why. Maybe that's a super serious crime in America. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that's years of prison. Maybe like a year of prison. But anyway, they meet in prison. And
a rental car not being brought back doesn't feel like prison time to me. That feels like a fine.
A fine, right? But anyway, they meet in prison, and
they
fall in love, and their relationship is very cute. Like, there's at one point, he gets it exchanged so him and Phillip Morris can be in prison, like, in the same cell together. They develop a relationship, and one of his neighbors is a character called the Screamer, and he's pretty much exactly what he sounds like. He screams all night, and so Steven Russell has the Screamer beat up. And he's like, did you have the Screamer beat up for me? Like, he's like really angry. He's like, did you have the Screamer beat up for me? He's like, no. He's like, did you? He's like, all right, yeah. He's like, that is the most romantic thing anyone has ever done for me. And yeah, it's kind of cute. But he treats him like absolute shit. Like, he lies to him, whatever. So anyway, they eventually both end up getting out of prison, and they end up with this domestic life. And Steven Russell bullshits his way into this banking job, basically. And for this section of the movie, you think, like, he's having this, like, domestic bliss. You're like, oh, they're happy. He's like, I have this, like, cushy job as the CFO at this banking job. And he's like, and it eventually gets to it. And he's like, except, yeah, I was robbing them blind the whole time. And it goes back and it shows this entire section of like him like he like, oh, I discovered that there was all these like loans that were just sitting there not collecting interest. So I took all of these loans and I put them into this account and just had them generate interest, and it made the company billions of dollars. And I took like I think it was like a 50% commission fee, and took all this money and skimmed it off the top. And then eventually it catches up with them again they all find out, and he's driving back, and he phones the ex-wife because he still has this good relationship with this ex-wife. He's like, oh hey Russell. He's like, oh hey. And he's like, are you on the run again? He's like, yep. You just couldn't help yourself, could you? No, you know me. You knew me. There's this really funny moment when he's trying to blend in and pretend he's straight, and he starts taking up golf, and Ewan McGregor's like, he's like, what are you doing playing golf? What have you become, like a straight man? He's like, yeah, I gotta do it to blend in, honey. And he goes off, and then the next cut is just him playing golf and just whacking at the sand trap. He's like, motherfucker, son of a god. Just him, Kurt is so funny. It was legit funny. Anyway. There's this, yeah, their whole thing is they've got this whole like tragic love story, whatever. And he eventually sort of revealed like he constantly keeps breaking out of prison to find Phillip Morris, because Phillip Morris is like, oh, are you up to something? And he's like, no, I'm not up to something. If you're up to something, you need to tell me now, because I'll never forgive you. So then he gets busted for stealing from this company, and obviously Phillip Morris is pissed. He's like, I'm never gonna speak to you again. And then it's revealed later on that he basically did all of these crimes using Phillip Morris's name. So Phillip Morris now looks like an accomplice to him, and is now he's on the run from the law as well. He's super pissed. But they ultimately blah 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 realize they love each other. And Phillip Morris, while in prison, finds out that it wraps back around to the beginning of the movie that Stephen Russell has AIDS. And he tries to visit him, whatever, tries to get him moved, and he gets transferred to the same prison. And he's like, you were never supposed to find out. And big reveal, it turns out that he's been faking the fact that he has AIDS the whole time.
Well, that took a turn.
I know, it's this big rug pull where he has this big long monologue at the end where he's like, yeah, here's how to get away with convincing your prison that you have AIDS. And it's like, turns out that in deep Texas, they don't really do STD tests all that well, so it's just really easy to lie to them and just say you're gay, and they'll believe you at face value. And it's this big long reveal about and so it really leads into that unreliable narrator of like, you're like, well, how much of this story is and I read about it, and it is real, but I couldn't like figure out, I couldn't find who like much about the real Phillip Morris. But yeah, the end of the movie, it reveals that he stayed in prison under guard because he kept breaking out of prison. They eventually kept him under guard 24 hours, 23 hours a day, other than 2 hours where he's allowed exercise. He's otherwise completely monitored. But Jordan, you're probably gonna guess which is the weirdest movie I watched this week.
Was it this one?
It was this one, Jordan. You better believe it was this one. Did you immediately guess it was this one?
I still think that the last one that you described sounded weirder, but...
Really? Even with all the gay sex?
Gay sex isn't necessarily weird. It's just a thing that people do.
Ooh, you turned that around on me. I quite... There's a couple of, there was a couple of moments where I was like, yeah, man, own biases. Slightly uncomfortable.
Just because,
but it's really funny. It is a genuinely funny movie.
Just because I don't necessarily want to watch two guys fucking doesn't mean that the two guys fucking is weird.
Or other people don't want to watch two guys fucking. Yeah, I suppose that is fair. That is fair. I've checked. You have checked my biases, sir, and that is fair. That is a fair thing to say. But no, I genuinely believe he should have at the very least been nominated for an Oscar for this movie. Not just because of the gay sex, but because it's a genuinely good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's really funny. It's really touching. His performance is really good, and he really does become the character. Like, there was a moment where he just, for me, when I was watching it, where he just stopped being Jim Carrey. And
That's good.
for
That's
Jim
an impressive
Carrey,
acting.
that is an impressive act. Yeah, for me at this point. I do think, I don't, maybe not win necessarily, but certainly nominated for an Oscar. But when I make the title of this movie, it will be He Should Have Won because clickbait. But
That sounds better.
yeah, yeah. The title of the video is going to be Jim Carrey probably should have won an Oscar for this movie. And you will be surprised to find out which movie it is. It's not Man on the Moon. Let me tell you. That's it. That's I Love You, Phillip Morris. Such a weird movie. Very strange.
Okay. All right. So my last rapid fire, I actually, while you were talking about the last movie, made the decision to swap my last rapid fire with this because I just don't have as much to say about
Oh,
this one.
snap. Oh,
And
snap. Oh, snap.
so what is now a rapid fire is the darkest. Well, it's actually just called Darkest Hour.
Oh, yeah, that's
But
the one that's Mark Wahlberg, right?
no, not Mark Wahlberg. Gary Oldman.
Oh. I'm thinking of a different movie. Yes.
Mark Wahlberg. Jeez.
I was thinking of the Mark Wahlberg oil movie.
Oh no, this one's about World War II, and
Another World War II movie. Yes, it's a Winston Churchill. We will fight them on the beaches and on the land and upside down and left and right.
And in space.
And in space. Oh, we'll fight them in the space. There'll be lasers and pew-pews. I'm Winston Churchill. This is a bad impression.
This movie is about early days. Winston Churchill. It's during Second World War. It's during the I'm gonna actually get the name right here. The May 1940 War Cabinet Crisis. And from what I have read in this article, it is not necessarily super accurate.
What? No.
So in this movie,
don't
Winston Churchill has a lot of doubt about what he should do and is questioning a lot of his actions. Apparently, that's just not true.
I mean,
that's just fictitious.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But in terms of this movie itself, the point of it is that Hitler and his Nazis are the Italians are willing to be the negotiators or the middlemen for a peace deal between the British, Churchill, and the Nazis, Hitler, to come to a peace deal, basically. And Winston Churchill in the movie doesn't want to do it, but his war cabinet, in particular, two members of it, are planning to basically do a vote of no confidence and get him out of office if he doesn't at least try to negotiate.
That sounds familiar. That sounds like history. I actually know a little bit about this period because I watched The Crown.
And
some of The Crown.
And then the Crown comes to Winston Churchill and is like, I side with you. And that's when Winston Churchill gives his big speech. And also there's a scene in this movie where apparently Winston Churchill is riding the tram or whatever, and he talks to a bunch of people there. That just doesn't happen. Like, it's just fiction for this movie. Overall, it's not a bad movie. It's a little dry at points.
I mean, yeah, it's a movie about Winston Churchill during World War II.
You know,
pretty much expect it to be dry.
Little slow. But overall not terrible.
I mean, I just saw Gary Oldman's bad prosthetics and I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. Drives me a little crazy because, pardon me, I have a particular mental image of what I think Winston Churchill should look like. Cough, cough, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
And this doesn't really fit that bill.
No, it is not. It does not fit that bill.
But you know, it was fine.
It was fine. That's fair, Jordan. Is that it? That's all you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, I did say that this one I didn't have much to say about it. So
that's fair. So
that's the last rapid fire.
My last rapid fire gets a little less weird. It's a little less weird. Now here's the thing, Jordan. This kind of was the point in the week where I went, I kind of feel like I need to separate, especially when these are biopics, the characters in the movie and the real person that it's based on. Because, like, the person in this movie, this is notorious, a biopic about the rapper, the Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, Big Papa. I can't remember I can't remember if I missed a name in there. Notorious
Biggie Smalls,
B.I.G.
Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G. It is a movie about his life, him growing up on the street as a gangster, and how he became a famous rapper and musician, and the West Coast, East Coast rap rivalry, and the assassination of Tupac, and the eventual assassination of Biggie Smalls himself. And I don't know a ton about West Coast versus East Coast rap rivalry, but like this movie is about his life, and this is another one of those movies where it's like being rich turns you into an asshole, because he just kind of comes across like an asshole. He cheats on his wife constantly. Like he cheats on his he has a girlfriend whom he cheats on, and then he cheats on the girl he's cheating on his girlfriend with, who has a daughter with another girl who he eventually gets married to and has another kid. And within the context of this movie, I'm not a big fan of his style of rap music, so I'm sure I'm definitely wrong. But I just was like, I don't get it. I don't get how does talent override common sense? Like, he just seems like he's not a very, like, he just, like, gaslights a lot of his part. Like, at one point, he bursts in he thinks that his wife is cheating on him, and he bursts into a photo or to an interview she's doing, and, like, threatens to beat the hell out of her. And, like, I'm just like, and then I think she goes back to him. But yeah, he threatens a lot of women who inevitably go back to him because he just acts charming. And I'm like, red flag city, man. Red flag city. But I'm obviously not going to be like, the real life guy was like this. This is a movie. He's a character in a movie.
Yeah. And that's kind of a thing with these things is and that's where I say you try to research into the real people, and I kind of try not to do that because it's just, for me, it's easier to engage with them when they're characters.
But sometimes the real story is also interesting. With this, like, I wanted to, because there's a point that the initially Tupac and Biggie Smalls are friends, right? They're quite good friends. But then there's a point, and this is a famous thing in history that happened, where Tupac shows up. Like, the movie is narrated by Biggie Smalls, and there's a point where he shows up at the recording studio while they're recording his album, and Tupac shows up there, and as he's coming into the building, he gets shot, and he thinks that Puff Daddy and Notorious did this, or Biggie Smalls did this, that they were responsible for this, or that, like, they knew about it. And he says later on, he's like, I can't believe that Tupac thinks we did this. He knows who did this, but it never explains who did this or why. Like, that's by what I can ascertain from this movie, like, seems to be the instigator of the West Coast East Coast rivalry, but they never said who did it. And then
maybe it could be a thing where legally they can't.
Maybe, and maybe that's why I was like, oh, I kind of want to watch it. Maybe next time we do Based on True Story, I'll do the Tupac one, because I'd be interested to know Tupac's side of that. Like if he thinks, like, who they were, why they did it. And yeah, so I obviously read the real story. Same thing with who shot. We never figured out.
Roger Rabbit.
Biggie Smalls. Who shot Biggie Smalls?
Oh,
they never revealed who that was.
This is awkward. I thought you were gonna say who shot Roger Rabbit.
I want to look up the actual
who framed Roger Rabbit.
The actual rapper's name.
Eminem.
Christopher Wallace. What's his
Christopher Walken. I'm walking here.
And the thing that I learned at the end of that movie that I didn't know, it just says the Notorious B.I.G. I didn't know that he only released one album in his lifetime. For whatever reason, I thought he released like more than that. But he was in the middle of making a second one when he died. And yeah, the ending of it is quite sad. He was quite talented. He died. Apparently, he died at the age of 25, which blew my mind. I'm like, man. I guess when you're younger, that seems so old. But like in my life now, I'm like 25 is so young. It's so much of his life ahead of him.
25 is very young. 25, you're still a kid.
Yeah. That's what it feels like now. Certainly, at the time you feel like an adult, but like in retrospect, nah, man, you're still like
No.
a kid.
You're
still cooking.
Yeah, no, you're still baking.
You're still baking. You're like in the cooling down stage of bacon, but you're still baking. You're still cooking. Yeah. I don't know enough about that to speak on with any authority. So when I say this stuff, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like just automatically, flat out, don't know what I'm talking about. I'm the movie guy talking about music in this instance, and I definitely read it. I read about it when I was watching it, and from what I could tell, this movie's fairly accurate. There's some like some of the people involved in it didn't care for it, but apparently Lil Kim didn't care for it. I can see why. Jordan's disappeared. Stop that. Stop doing that. That's it. That's notorious.
I'm a ninja. I've disappeared.
Moving right along.
It's all right. This is one of those streams where I've gone off the rails. Okay. So now it's time for us to move into the have seens, and I mean, there's really only one way that I can introduce this movie, Justin. Ooh,
You get there and you buy. Are you fucking die?
It's The Wolf of Wall Street.
On fucking new issue day? On new issue day, Jordan.
Really like this movie.
I love that movie.
It's probably one of my favorite biographical movies.
Oh, I mean, it is really good. I mean, to be fair, the guy it's based on, Jordan.
Oh,
Belfort,
he's a monster.
He's a piece of shit.
Jordan Belfort, rather.
Jordan Belfort. I mean, man, there's so many iconic. You crack with me, bro. Oh, it's so
Get
nice.
on the phone!
I maintain Leo got robbed. He should have won the Oscar for this performance. It was so good. Introduced us to Margot Robbie, like one of my favorite movies. The pacing is phenomenal.
Amazing way.
Like the pacing is like you're like this movie's 3 hours long, but it feels like it's 2 hours long. It like this.
It does a good job of pacing.
Doing cocaine. It is so good. One of my favorite movies. Easily my favorite Scorsese film, hands down.
So it's based off of Jordan Belfort's 2007 memoir,
The Wolf of Wall Street.
It tells the rise and fall of Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort. Yeah. The thing is, there's people out there who think he's a person worth emulating. Or they're like, no, the whole point of that movie is it's supposed to be a commentary on excess. He's a piece of shit. That's the idea.
He's not a person to emulate. That being said, he is a person that if you were to say to me he's a person you can learn from.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, that I can agree with. But no, he's not a person to emulate.
Also,
you do not want to be him.
I don't know if you know this. The real Jordan Belfort is the guy at the end of the movie who introduces him to the talk at the end of the movie.
I actually did know that. They have a link to the real person that Jonah Hill plays, and so I quickly clicked on it. Does not look anything like Jonah Hill.
Well, he is Jonah Hill's character is an amalgamation of more than one person.
I mean, it just says here that he's his business partner and friend Donnie Azoff, so it specifically labels one person.
Oh, interesting. From what because I've done the who Donnie is, he's not specifically one person.
It just lists one person here, so but this movie actually had 3 it has 3 different sections of scandals. And then It talks about Belfort's reaction and the
He loves
Margot
this movie.
Robbie's character's reaction.
She did not like this movie. He does like this movie.
No, she said that it was accurate. Like the portrayal of their relationship was accurate.
Oh, fair.
About like how abusive and stuff he was. So she's not inherently against the movie itself, it doesn't seem. That being said, there were controversies for their use of animals. There was what's called the 1MDB scandal. There's thematic controversy and debate. So yeah, this movie
I
touched on-
quote this movie. There's so much. The fucking Equalizer. You're gonna call during the fucking Equalizer? Or
oh man,
I love
the
the bit where he's
entire-
on the boat with a dude. Say that again.
did you just tried to bribe me? No.
There's no actual exchange of goods. No,
Nice
try.
try. Get the fuck off
Get
my
the
phone.
fuck off my boat. So good.
Um,
I will not die sober.
I will not die sober. A fucking what was it? Shoney fucking
Benny
the
Hanna?
restaurant.
Benny
Fucking
Hanna.
Hanna, that's what takes me down. Benny fucking Hanna.
My favorite is him doing
So
the commercial
good.
and the guy tackles him. Oh, it's just so good. So good.
So-
Leonardo DiCaprio is so good in this movie. I love
So
this movie.
yes, he was robbed. So this movie had a budget of 100 million. Justin, you love this movie so much. Can
500
you
million.
guess? Ooh, a little bit less. 407
I
million.
did all right. Yeah, I did all right.
It did all right. Considering the type of movie it is, I would say that it did quite well.
It did quite well.
Is there anything else that I can tell you about this that you don't already know? Something about top 10 lists.
Get off the phone. Jordan, is that it?
No, that's it. That's it for Wolf of Wall Street. It's a really good movie. It's really
Right.
solid. And there's, I mean, if even 10% of what they say happened in this movie did actually happen, they got up to some insane
According to
shit.
Jordan Belfort, it is, but I don't know. Okay, Jordan, I doubt you're familiar with the story, but let me take you back in time to the 87 Calgary Olympics. Jordan, are you familiar with... Wait, I actually do want to get the day right.
A bobsled team?
A bobsled team.
We watched this
Called-
with a friend of ours, so
called-
I think so.
The Jamaican bobsled team. Well, Jordan, this is not about them. This is a completely different movie called Eddie the Eagle, about a guy in the same Olympics as the
Hugh
Jamaican
Jackman.
bobsled. Hugh Jackman. Wait, have you seen Eddie the Eagle?
I think this was another one we also watched with our friend.
I don't think I remember watching this by myself. Maybe
I have very much memories of him going down the slope and doing the thing where he has to lean and he's training to be in it.
Yes, absolutely, he's training to be. So this is about Eddie the Eagle. Yeah, the life and times of Eddie the Eagle.
I think we watched this in theaters.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
I cannot see a reason as to why. I definitely remember watching it at home for the first
Because
time.
I don't want to name our friend, but I'm pretty sure this was like a one that our friend wanted to watch because he knew who Eddie the Eagle was.
No, I definitely didn't watch it in theaters. But anyway,
Maybe not in theaters, but I mean at home.
that I cannot say.
All right. All I know is that I've seen it. So
It's Hugh Jackman, it's Taron Egerton, and it's about the downhill ski jumper Eddie Edwards, Eddie the Eagle, at the I want to say 87. Hold on, this is now going to bother me.
because
88. I was close. 88.
The reason why I say that I think our friend was the one who knew about who this was is you said Calgary?
Yeah.
Think about the timeline.
Oh, I know. I know. I watched it by myself. But
He
anyway,
would-
anyway, not
he
the
would
point.
he would
Not the
definitely have
point.
known who Eddie the Eagle was.
This is about the downhill ski jumper Eddie the Eagle, who participated in the 1988 Calgary Olympics, and this is about the events that led him to the Calgary Olympics. Now, I could not find any information on the character that Hugh Jackman plays, so as near as I could tell, he is fictional. He's basically Wolverine, but he smokes cigarettes. There's a exceptionally funny. A lot of the ski jumping in this movie looks as though it's done by. It looks CGI. Like there's more than one where it's a close up on their face as they lean forward as the bad CGI happens behind them, and it looks like their face has been CGI'd onto a CGI body. There's a particularly funny one where it's Hugh Jackman and he's smoking a cigarette. The cigarette's hanging out of his mouth as he's like going down the thing head first, like no equipment or anything, just on the skis going down the slope, and it looks really bad and it's really funny. There's a couple with Eddie the Eagle that look really bad and look really funny, and it is a sports cliched movie. Taron Egerton is delightful as this character who's like an affable, nice guy who just wants to ski. Basically it's about his journey of trying to get the British Olympic Committee to accept him. They don't want to accept him because he's a goober, and it's just funny because this guy
is he a goofy goober?
He's kind of a goofy goober, yeah. Initially, he lands and everyone loves him because he's kind of a character and a personality. And Hugh Jackman's like, no one will ever respect you. So then he signs up to do the super duper high dangerous jump, which, as an aside, he does the 92-foot like drop or whatever, and if you remember this movie, is dangerous. Like I don't understand it's like you basically how this sport works is you fly down a chute that's like sheer, you go straight down, and then you fly and you have to land on skis that are like this rail thin pieces of wood and hope
super
that it
thin,
supports
super
you.
long. And
you have to land on the weight of your own weight and hope that your legs don't just give out underneath you, like which happens so many times where there's a couple injuries in this movie where they land and their legs just give out from underneath them and they crash and they bail. And I'm like, this looks so dangerous. I don't see the appeal. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And even just like athletically, it just looks like insanity. I don't understand at least like
it looks like a fast track to a broken leg,
right? Or neck, or like at least with like we're gonna talk about sports next week, but like with basketball and like hockey, like I see the appeal of like defeating an opponent. This is like what do you have to show for this other than broken ankles or broken spine, or like in the case he bails on one of the jumps and nearly dies. Like I don't get it. I don't understand this sport, but I'm sure someone does. But it's just funny that like at one point they mentioned the Jamaican bobsled team offhandedly, and it's just funny like, oh yeah, this is the same Olympics that the Jamaican bobsled team was at. That's wild. These Olympics were wild. The 80s is a hell of a time, man. I'm definitely learning that. The 80s were a hell of a time. Just a weird time.
Just a weird time.
Weird time. But that's Eddie the Eagle. I enjoy it. It was a delightful movie. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Sports movie slop, where it's like uplifting, but it's cheap and it's effective. Where you're like, oh,
inspiration.
Yeah, it's inspiration porn, basically. I'm coining that term right now. Inspiration porn.
Oh boy. Okay, so my second half scene, nice little short one, hour and a half, called 127 Hours.
It's a shame we had with James. It's a shame James Franco got canceled.
I mean, that doesn't change the fact that this movie is really good.
This movie is really good. Yeah, this was the one that was like that made us rethink Buried, because we used to be like, oh, I hate that takes place in one location movie, but like this and like phone book.
but like no, that wasn't the issue with that movie. That the issue that we always had with that movie was that they needed to have one more scene, or wild tangent, but they needed to have like one more scene which showed how he got in the box.
Yeah.
That's what this movie, that's what the phone booth one had, is they have the scene which show you how he gets to the point where he's stuck. Anyways, to talk about this movie now.
This movie he won the Oscar for this, right?
Pretty
sure. I know he got nominated for it. I can't remember if he won or not. because he did the movie he did after this. Because there's always the movie you do after you win the Oscar that's weird.
He definitely got nominated for 6 Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And the film received nominations for 8 British Academy Film Awards. I don't see anything about winning.
I think did he win Best Actor? Okay, let's see. Let's see what Google will do. Hold on. Did James Franco win an Oscar for 127 hours?
Anyways, while you do that, so the movie apparently in terms
no, he didn't win. He was nominated, but he didn't win.
In terms of its accuracy, because it's based on a book that the guy who fell, the Danny Boyle.
He did cut off his arm.
Not Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle's the director.
Yeah, I'm looking for the name of the actual guy.
Yes.
Aaron Ralston, I guess his name would have been.
He did actually cut his arm off. That did happen.
Yeah, no, I mean that because you see in the final moments, you see pictures of the real guy.
Oh, I love it when I discovered that this week. I love it when biopics show the real guy at the end.
At least I think it was the real guy. Yeah, you see that he had a son, and he got married, and he still hikes, still climbs or whatever. And one of the final shots that you see, from what I recall, is he's got the prosthetic and he's got the climbing thing on his hand.
Oh, neat. Yeah, no, I love it when the movies show the real guy at the end. You're like, oh,
it does make clear that he learned from the lesson of this, where now anytime he goes climbing, he makes sure he tells people that he's going.
Absolutely tell people. Yeah, oh man, solid performance from James Franco. Solid performance.
Oh, so good. The slow watch as he becomes dehydrated and weak and crazy.
Right.
And just absolutely insane. The moment where he's out of water and he has to drink his own apple juice. I watched that scene and I'm like, yeah.
Hey man, it's technically sterile.
I don't care. It's still gross. Yeah, no. According to the Aaron Ralston, other than a few things that they changed from his book, like how the girls that he meets in the beginning, apparently in real life he doesn't actually take them to a pool where they fall down and swim together and do all that. Apparently in real life he gave them some climbing tips and then they very quickly separated and went on their ways.
I mean, that makes sense.
But other than that, he said it was as close to a biographical film as you could possibly get.
Neat.
So it was apparently pretty darn accurate. Yeah, the book was Between a Rock and a Hard Place, which, as an aside, is a great name for what happened to him.
I mean, yeah, it is. That's a great name.
I also never noticed until I'm looking at it right in this moment that the poster for 127 Hours is an hourglass. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you after, but it's got the blue sky on top, and it's got the hourglass figure, the sunrise on the bottom, and there's the stone with him in the middle, which is supposed to be like the sand falling through.
Sunrise, sunset.
It had a budget of $18 million. Can you guess its box office?
$40 million.
It was more than that. It was $60.7 million.
Oh, that was close.
So, it did fairly well.
It did respectable. It did respectable. Yeah, he got nominated for an Oscar. Did not win it.
And that is the nice short, hour and a half, 127 hours. It's definitely worth a watch if you haven't watched it.
Is the news.
That's my last half scene.
So my next one. This one, I have a history with this movie. So this is Changeling. Directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Angelina Jolie. It is about Angelina Jolie's son disappears, and the police return her son, and she's like, "That's not my son," and the police try to convince her that it is her son. All set to the backdrop of a serial killer. And we'll get into more detail in a moment. But my history with this movie is I've only seen it because I worked worked at the movie theaters, and this was empty one day. There's no one in it. And it was in the biggest theater we had, this massive theater, and I was the only one in it. And I sat there with my radio on and my little bag of popcorn, and I watched this entire movie. This movie is quite good. Angelina Jolie is quite good in it. It also is about the Gordon Northcott chicken wine coop murders, where he would kidnap boys and kill them. And they cut this part out, but also do other bad things to them. And while for some, I'm not sure for what reason, but he is discovered when his nephew is being deported back to Canada. And the nephew confesses to helping him kidnap and kill these boys. In the meantime, Angelina Jolie's son has disappeared, and the police have returned a boy to him that she says is not her son. He is taller or shorter than her son. Her son was 25 inches, either shorter or taller, but there's a 25 whatever, yeah, I think it was inch height difference. And the new kid is uncircumcised, and her son was circumcised. And
yeah, you can't unring that bell.
I can't unring that bell. And so she goes to the police and is like, "This is not my son." And he's like, "No, it is your son." He's like, "You're wasting your time trying to convince me that this is my son when I'm telling you it's not. I'll take care of him, whatever. But you need to continue looking for my son." And they get into this conflict with her, and they inevitably toss her in the loony bin, and try to gaslight her through what is essentially medical torture, into recanting and saying that this is her son when it is not. And all I could think about was like, wow, man, we sure fucked up a ton before we had DNA evidence, because this would never happen today, because you'd just be like, just get a DNA test.
I mean, yeah,
Boom,
but
ba,
that's kind of
bang.
that's kind of the point. That's why that was such a revolutionary thing
Right,
when we were
right.
able to finally do that.
Right? Yeah, it's just a lot of like, this movie takes place in 1928, and man, we wouldn't have these problems nowadays. Yeah, there's a really solid scene at the end. There's a bit at the end where they're taking the guy who killed the Northcott. They're gonna execute him, and like, he has this big, like, at the end of his life, he wants to confess so he can get right with God, so he doesn't go to hell. And she's like, "I hope you go to hell. You're gonna go to hell." And he starts to freak out, like, "Somebody say a prayer for me." And it's just this like awkward silence as he like freaks out as they try to rush him to be hanged. And they do the full procedure of him being executed, and it is upsetting. The entire bit with her in the mental institution is upsetting. There's a reason we got rid of mental institutions. They are awful. To be fair, it is a movie, but like, movies have never made those places seem pleasant.
I mean, I don't think that mental hospitals are done away with entirely. They still exist.
Mental institutions like that they don't exist anymore. Not in that form.
I just meant generally.
They exist as like, in some cases, as like a department of like the hospital, but they don't have full blown mental institutions anymore. Those don't exist because patients were abused horribly. So they shut most of them down. What else? What else about Changeling? This was based on a true story. Just like at the end of the movie, this was apparently quite accurate. The person who wrote it was very particular about it being accurate to the real story. They were like a television writer that wanted to be taken seriously in movie world. So apparently he spent years writing it and researching it. There's apparently a lot of eerily similar details to real life. She never found her son. It's revealed at the end that the son escaped with another boy and may be alive, but like, also, I just kind of feel like by the end of it, it had been, I think, like multiple years. So it's like it just feels like if he was alive, he would have found you by now. So I don't think he is, but
Depends on what age he was taken
but
and
yeah.
how indoctrinated he became.
Well, no, I mean the way the guy was, he was keeping him in a chicken coop and he would yank him out. Like if he escaped, like it would the whole thing was like when the other boys escaped, and when they escaped, the reason why they didn't come forward was because they were too scared. But once the guy was executed or in jail, then they would have no reason to be scared. In real life, they cut out this character, but in real life, the mom of Gordon Northcott, I'm pretty sure I'm getting his name right, basically confessed and confessed to helping him and was his accomplice. And she said that she killed him, the Walter, the Angelina Jolie's son. She confessed to having killed him, but she, to the end of her life, maintained that he was still out there somewhere. But yeah, it's if you like for you, Jordan, I can't think of a Clint Eastwood movie you've seen other than Gran Torino.
Yeah,
It's kind of
that's
got
the
that.
only.
Like Clint Eastwood movies are really sluggish, like in their kind of delivery, but the line delivery is still good and it's engaging and it's not fun to watch, but it's engaging, like you said. You would probably like this. In fact, I'm surprised I haven't convinced you to watch it before. Anyway,
I mean,
that's Changeling.
okay, that's your final thoughts.
That is my final thoughts.
Okay, time for us to move on to have not scenes, and
Have not
this
seen
was
it.
originally a rapid fire, but it got upgraded, and it is called Zodiac.
Ooh, yes. The Zodiac. Oh yeah,
Because I felt like between you and me, we would both have more to say
I
about
mean,
this one.
I've seen this movie. I've only seen this movie once, but I've read part of the book it's based on. 'Cause
It's
this
based on two
movie-
books.
Yeah, I've read the first one.
It's based on Robert Graysmith's Zodiac
Yep.
and Zodiac Unmasked.
Yes, and I've read the part of the first one. It's not very good. It's like this thick. It's very thick. It's a very thick book, and it's very boring. And a lot of it is fiction. A great deal of it is fiction. Like
I mean, it's a lot of it is one man's obsession, obsessive obsession
yeah,
with the
but
Zodiac killer.
the book itself is more or less fiction. Like it's not very. It's like you wouldn't treat it as a non-fiction source of information on the killings. It's more of a narrative than it is. But yes, when I was in
Yeah,
high school,
and this movie very much it has its feelings on who the Zodiac killer
oh for
is.
sure, yeah, it absolutely is, and I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him.
I don't know enough about the real thing to kind of say that.
Well, okay, so
I know that it's Arthur Lee Allen.
this movie thinks
the one person that they actually came out and accused.
yes. Well, no, they've accused a few people over the years, but like at the time, the only actual person that they thought, and there's a lot of people who still think it's him. I don't think
According
it's
to
him.
according to the Wikipedia of the Zodiac killer himself, it says the only man ever named by the police as a suspect is Arthur Lee Allen.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of updates. There's been a lot. There's a really good video I watched on the Zodiac killer that I was gonna send to you, except for it's like 2.5 hours long. It's quite long, but
Like it does say other suspects.
but
There are other suspects here. It's just they weren't publicly stated as by the police.
it makes this video I watched makes the really good case that the killer itself, basically that all the Zodiac killers are multiple killers. Basically, they're different killers that the person writing the letters took credit for, and they're unrelated killings because when you look at the evidence surrounding them, there's too many inconsistencies amongst the murders, and there's a really I think it might have been Lee Arthur Allen, but there was a particular suspect early on that they had who the writing style of how the Zodiac killer wrote. It appeared, there was a linguistics expert that studied it that said it had the appearance of someone who was intoxicated.
Well, that's where in this movie, there's a point where one of the detectives or whatever, it said I don't remember specific details, but it said that he later gets demoted because it's found out that he was writing fake ones.
Yeah. Well, there's the
But
basically.
I think there was one guy who did like the first four or
Yes.
something like that, and then after that point it became so well known by the public that other copycats started taking advantage of the pseudonym, basically like the equivalent of like the Scream movies,
Yes.
how
Yes.
there's a
Yes.
bunch of different ghost
Yes. I
faces.
think I think that's what it is. But like they get again, it's a casual criminalist video, which I'll send to you. And yeah, they made the really good case that it looks like when you look at the evidence and all the Zodiac killings stacked, especially as it goes on, that these are unrelated killings that don't have anything to do with each other. That the guy writing the letters to the police took credit for. That the guy who was writing the letters and the killer himself were different people. It wasn't the same person.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe in the beginning it was the same person, and I think that he stopped or he died or whatever happened to him,
Yeah.
and then there was a mantle, there was a thing that freaked the fuck out of the public, and people took advantage of it.
Well, yeah. Well, the
Like
because
not as like a concerted effort or like part of a scheme, but like five different people all saw the opportunity to make use of this
I
thing,
think so.
and they did.
But yeah, there's definitely evidence that again the guy who was writing the cryptids and all that to the police and the actual killer were different people. They weren't. It wasn't the same person. There's a lot of
Um,
evidence that supports that, and there's a lot of evidence that supports that. Basically, the guy who wrote these letters was like this arrogant. I think it is that there's people who think that the letters were written by Arthur Lee Allen because the letters do match his penmanship. And the theory was that he would get blackout drunk and write these letters into the police while drunk, while intoxicated. And this is basically like the 1950s, 60s equivalent of getting drunk and going on Reddit, basically.
mm-hmm.
And that was very compelling. I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I believe this. I believe this theory.
This movie, though, definitely wants you to think that
Oh,
Allen
for
was the
sure.
one who did it.
Because Robert
Um,
Grace Smith or whatever thought it was Arthur Lee Allen.
Till his dying day. I don't actually know if he died, but um, yeah, no. In terms of a movie, it's fine. It's
I remember
the
it being
only
unsatisfying. That's the one thing I remember about it.
well, only insofar of the fact that they never get their man,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
So,
David
like in terms of
Fincher. It's a David Fincher
in terms
movie,
of
right?
an investigation movie where like you want to see the good guys win.
Yeah,
Like there's a blurb at the end which is like the Alan died before they could do anything about it,
the
and
this
it's
is
like
this is directed by David Fincher, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so like it's a David Fincher movie. You're expecting there to be the Social Network is kind of the same way, where it's just kind of anticlimactic because it's like, yeah, no, nothing really happened at the end. You're expecting a
So
big payoff, and there just isn't one.
not really anyway. I mean, again, there is insofar of the fact of they're like yeah no, in terms of the narrative of this movie, they're like he did it. Like he
Yeah,
did it. We just don't have it's circumstantial evidence, and we
but there's
can't
so much
charge
evidence
him.
that
But
disproves
no,
that it's
I'm just
him.
saying I'm saying just in terms of the
I
structure
know.
of this movie.
We can't make it stick, but we know it's him. But no,
We know it's him, but we can't make it stick,
yeah,
but we know it's him.
yeah.
And so like I guess in
But that's
that way
also unsatisfying because
that's supposed to be the resolution, but
But yeah, no, it's
yeah.
a David Fincher movie. You're expecting a resolution, and there just isn't one. And it's also too long. That's another thing I remember about this movie. It's too long.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. It could there's some corners that they could have cut. It had a budget of 60. It's okay, so it gives a range, 65 to
Oh, that's
85 million.
that's some Hollywood accounting right there.
And the box office. Justin, do you want to guess?
I don't think this did very well. I'm gonna guess 100 million.
You would be wrong, sir, because it was 84.7 million. It lost money.
Yeah, big old bomb. It did not do good.
Is there any other interesting things I can tell you?
Is there?
No, not really.
No,
No, not really.
no.
Zodiac Killer, one of the most famous mystery
Yeah, I did a
murders
project
of
on
all
him in high
time.
school, and I've been utterly fascinated by him ever since. Because yeah, he is a movie supervillain, like Jigsaw, like slasher character brought to life.
Ghostface brought to life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brought to life. Like, he is fascinating. I've always been fascinated by him, and the fact that they've never figured out who he is, and every other week there's like a YouTube or TikTok where it's like, we finally know who it is, and they never do, and there's never any new information about him. Like, I don't think we're ever gonna, until someone finds
I
like
think
a
it's gonna be I think it's gonna be one of those unsolved forever ones.
until someone make a time machine that you can go back and observe history and not get hurt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's Zodiac.
Until that happens. Um,
We'll until until that happens, we'll just have to go with this artist's interpretation of
right.
it.
Where was I? Oh yes, my first have not seen. Okay, I'm just gonna be fully honest with you guys. I've been really into chess lately, just like really into chess. I don't know why. They put it on Duolingo. It's really fun, and so I was looking for chess movies, and the first one that came up,
Knight to B5.
Knight to B7. I've been learning how to play chess, and so I picked up a movie called Pawn Sacrifice, and this is about the famous. Sorry, I have to do this. Famous, because I recognize the name because there's another movie called Searching for Bobby Fischer, but evidently in the 1980s he was a very famous chess player, and this movie is about a very famous chess tournament, and Bobby Fischer is, as this movie portrays him, autistic, and his special interest is chess. I don't know if he actually was autistic, but this movie portrays him as being mentally ill, but like he is paranoid and delusional, and he thinks like this is at the height of the Cold War. So, and the whole idea is this chess tournament is basically like being framed as like Rocky IV. It's the Soviets versus America. He has to go off and defeat the Ruskies, but like the movie constantly portrays the Soviets, and I don't know if this is deliberate or intentional, but it constantly portrays the Soviets as being reasonable, and like Bobby Fischer keeps making all of these demands. Like, he demands more money. At one point, they're trying to do this tournament, and there's this big audience, and there's cameras everywhere. And he's like, I won't play chess unless there's no audience and no cameras and there's nobody around. And they managed to negotiate him down to like one shitty camera and a few people in the room. But like, he keeps making all these demands and is like basically portrayed as being utterly insane. He thinks like the government is spying on him, and he's totally delusional. And they all know that he's cracked. And it's just really, really funny because a lot of the stuff that he's saying, politicians say today as if it's perfectly normal. But this movie is like, no, people like this are unwell. Like, they're not okay. The movie goes so far as to call him mentally ill.
So I feel like you're trying to say something about current politicians. Are you trying to say that they're all mentally unwell?
I'm just saying that we used to treat them as such. Yes.
Will you here and now make the controversial statement that they are all mentally unwell people?
I will not commit to that one way or the other. But
you're definitely thinking it.
I'm definitely thinking it. No, I'm definitely implying it. But as the movie goes on, he gets progressively more and more. Like, at one point, he's on the phone with his sister, like freaking out because he thinks both the CIA and the KGB are spying on him. And at the end of the movie, and how you're like, oh, it does the card thing. Well, it does the card thing while showing clips of actual Bobby Fischer, and he would go on to, like, he won the tournament and he beats. Spoiler alert: he beats the Russians, and then he gets into trouble with the law for some meaningless crime and goes to prison and disappears from public life, and then goes to fight, or goes to do a tournament in Moscow at the height of the Cold War, which is expressly forbidden, and a warrant is put out for his arrest, and he goes on the run and goes into hiding, and the final clip is of him coming back out of hiding, as an old man, And like, I don't know how to describe how he looks other than exactly the way you think a guy who thinks the government is out to get him would look like.
So crazy. He looked
So
crazy.
like long hair and a long gray beard like down to his chest. Exactly,
that
right.
tracks.
Yeah. You could picture it in your head. Yeah. And the big thing with this movie is like it kind of wants it's a drama, but it also kind of wants to be a sports movie because it's about chess. And like for me, I'm like the 1980s must have been really boring because it's just hard for me to picture a time where anybody would be that invested in a chess tournament. It's chess. I just don't think chess
Yeah.
is that interesting.
I mean, I don't know. They have whole things about it. Chess is a very
That's where I'm like, yeah,
prolific
once again, what the
thing.
fuck do I know?
You
To be
know, like
fair.
there was a whole thing about chess robots and people beating robots and
I mean, I don't know. I'm currently learning against a robot, and it doesn't really feel all that impressive to beat a robot. Um, but I am enjoying it, and I'm having fun. And I looked into it. Chess is apparently, it originally is not an English game. It comes from, I looked this up, India, I think, in the 5th century.
huh, interesting.
And it is what it is exact. It is what it looks like. It's about tactically learning how to think tactically in terms of armies. But you'll just like okay, a big thing with this cinematically is so there's obviously it gets to the big tournament at the end where he's fighting the Russian played by Liev Schreiber, and when you don't see the whole board, chess isn't all that interesting to watch. Chess to me is interesting when I can see the whole board and I can see the moves he's making and I can try to find all the moves he can make and figure out which moves he's going to make. It's not interesting
Yeah.
when you can only kind of see the board obscured. So a lot of the climax is just them going, hmm, and then shaking a guy's hand. You don't really get
Rook
to see them
Rook to
or them
G17.
saying that, and I've never fully understood how that works. And also, even though I'm learning, I still don't fully understand what causes a draw versus just letting you chase around a guy's king for 20 minutes. Like
Check.
I don't know. I'm not good enough at chess or know the rules well enough. But yeah, just cinematically watching two guys play chess is just not very exciting to watch. And a lot of this is like, hey, I will say, Tobey Maguire, he's Bobby Fischer. He does a great job of just coming across like an asshole, but it's weird. It's like they make it like, oh, he's just eccentric, but a lot of it is that they say, oh yeah, he slowly lost his mind, but a lot of this movie portrays it as the people who surround him were like, he's kind of off his rocker and he's not okay and he's mentally deteriorating
Deteriorating.
yeah, by the day. But like, hey, he's really good at this one game, so we're just gonna keep encouraging this behavior because he's really good at this one game. Like, it feels scummy. I don't know. It just feels unethical. We're like, you guys should have helped him. Maybe if you had helped him, he wouldn't have completely. But also,
But
again,
Justin,
it's a
they did
movie.
help. They did help him. They helped him make them rich.
Yeah,
Checkmate.
by
I
playing
sunk your
chess.
battleship.
But again, this is a movie. This is a movie, and also, yeah, it was dull. It was quite dull. I was bored by
Checkmate.
this. It was not. It was. I thought it was all right. Again, the performance is good. You might recognize this. There's a bit from it of Tobey Maguire freaking out where he goes, "That was today, Dimitri." That's from this movie.
Oh, I understand.
That is it.
Ah,
That is Pawn Sacrifice. I really want to find a way to watch The Queen's Gambit. I thought for sure The Queen's Gambit would be based on a true story, and it wasn't. And I was like, I think I'm gonna watch it next week because everyone treated chess as like it was as though it were a sport. So I'm just gonna be like, it's a sport, even though I don't consider it a sport. It's also why I'm considering watching a movie about
cheerleading.
poker because they consider poker a sport. Actually, no. I already have my list going. I'm shoddying at least one movie, which I will tell you off stream.
Are those your final thoughts about that movie?
Yeah. This is a sneak preview of next week. My next one is also a sports movie.
Okay, so my next movie is partially inspired by a true story. It's called The Terminal.
Yeah, that was true story adjacent. There was a lot of
Uh,
details they changed in the story to my
it's
recollection.
inspired by the true story of Mayren Karimi Nasseri, who lived in Terminal 1 of Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, France from 1988 to 2006.
Wow, that's a really long time.
Yes, it is.
That is a
Much longer,
really long time.
much longer than what happens in this movie.
Wow, often the movie is longer than real life, but that is a really long time.
Because in the movie, it's like 8 months or something like that.
Yeah, how is
Um,
that How do you live in that place for years?
well, the big difference, I was reading a little bit about the other guy. The big difference is, for the longest time, he was able to fly between the UK airport and the France airport. And it was at a certain point they lost his paperwork. So then he was stuck there. And the reason why he was there in the first place was because he something to the effect of he got booted out of Iran, and applied for asylum in one of them. I don't remember which, and got it at a certain point. And then in 2006, he left the airport because he got sick, and he ended up at a hospital. And then I think it said it was 2022, he ended up back at the airport, where he died
Oh wow, he died. He died the way he lived at an
in an
airport.
airport,
Yeah,
at an airport in France.
man, that's
So
depressing.
that's one of the big differences, is that it was the original story was France and not in the United States. The other big
The
difference is
United States
that
of America.
the other big difference is that the original person that this is based off of loosely was from Iran, not an unknown made up European Russian style country. Um, but I really enjoyed this
It's
movie.
got the Tooch.
More importantly, it's got the
It's
Hanks.
got the Hanks, but no. More importantly, it's got the Tooch.
No, more importantly, it's got the Hanks.
Who's not loving the Tooch?
Who's not loving the Hanks?
The Tooch. The Tooch is good in everything.
I mean, so is the Hanks.
I don't know that the Hanks is good in everything, but the Tooch never misses.
No. I don't know about the Tooch, but the Hank is a rock star, which is why he's been in like so many things. So many things, Justin.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
If I had a quarter for every Tom Hanks thing that he was in this week, where he was playing a person that was based on a real person, I'd have 2 quarters for this week alone, which isn't a lot of quarters, but it's weird that it happened twice.
I mean, it's a whole 50 cents of quarters.
Um, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. So over the course of this movie, he's stuck in the airport. The one guy wants him out.
Sally
I
Tucci.
think you said he was the Tooch.
It's the Tooch.
He wants him out because he wants him to no longer be his problem, because he's up for a promotion. And so he keeps trying to trick him into illegally leaving the airport. And then by the end of it, Tom Hanks gets the autograph that he came to New York for, and goes home.
He goes home. And then
Finally.
everyone's happy. It's a happy
After-
ending.
After living in an airport for like 8 months. God, I can't spend an afternoon in an airport without going crazy.
Right? I hate airports.
I can't imagine spending 8 months trapped in one and having to scrounge money and food and this and that. Oh, all while not speaking the language.
Right? That sounds
That
awful.
sounds like hell. So this movie had a budget of 60 million.
60 milli?
60 milli.
60 milli?
Justin, for all the marbles, can you guess what the box office was?
100 milli.
Ooh, you would have lost all your marbles, because it was 219.1 milli.
Wow. All right.
So you would have lost all your marbles
It's a
and
lot of
gone
Millie.
insane.
It's all the
Is
Millie.
there anything else? Oh yeah, there's the fact that the country in this is a fictional country. Um, and other than that, the film presents a reasonable, accurate picture of the process of naturalistic second language acquisition, according to linguist Martha Young Scholten. So that's cool.
That is
And
cool.
that's it. That's it for this week. That's all I have to say.
That's all
That's
you
the
have to
terminal.
say about
Y'all,
that.
y'all should go check out the terminal because it's a decent movie.
It's a delight. It's a simple delight.
It's
George,
simple. It's
speaking of
simple.
problematic things,
It's simple and clean.
so we were talking about problematic things. These are a few of problematic things. We're going to talk about The Blind Side, starring Sandra Bullock.
Did it blindside you?
Not really, because this movie was
Oh,
very popular. Jordan, have you seen The
oh.
Blind Side?
I do not recognize the
You
name.
do not recognize the name. The Blind Side, Jordan, is about football player Michael Orr and his life. And Jordan, this movie teaches us
He
that
sounds like a person.
all you need in life is to be saved by a
By
blonde-haired
Jesus?
white. Well, Jordan, by a blonde-haired white woman. And all you need
So
to step
not
up in your
Jesus.
life is a blonde-haired white woman.
you gotta find Jesus.
I mean, Jesus is moving the blonde-haired white woman
Jesus.
on behalf of Jesus, blonde-haired white
Jesus.
woman. Jordan,
Jesus.
you see, because Michael Orr is a dummy black guy, there is quite a bit of
Whoa! I don't think you're allowed to say that.
no, everyone
That
treats him
sounds offensive.
the real spoiler alert. The real Michael Orr does not care for this movie.
So I definitely don't think you can say that then.
But for the exact reason that this movie treats him like he's a dummy black guy who can't talk or learn. There's several characters that do the "you're so articulate," like not that exact thing,
Ooh, that's a big word
but
for
yeah,
you.
it's got condescending white people who are like there's one point where like he looks so big next to you, like a gorilla. Like, whoa!
Oh.
Whoa, no!
Oh, no.
No, you can't
No.
say that.
You,
And
to make it awful, you're saying the quiet part out loud.
yeah, you're not
Jeez,
supposed to say the
no,
quiet part out
jeez.
loud. No.
Ugh.
Like, there's so many times where, like, the movie wants you to think that Sandra Bullock and her family are the non-racist ones, but, like,
Ugh.
she doesn't, like, say, hey, man, stop being racist. She just kind of lets her friends say this awful racist shit, and then the friends apologize and still say awful racist shit. Like, I guess it's supposed to be like, yeah, the South is, it's so passive aggressive, and it's really, really white saviory. Like the family comes in and saves him from his mom's addicted to drugs and lives in what seems like a crack house, and she rescues him from the projects and buys him clothes and does all sorts of things for him and seem like they're the most super special awesome people and don't see racism, and like it's just
Okay.
like
All right. We get it. They have a savior complex.
and then there's a bit at the end where it's like where he goes to interview the NCAAP, and he's like, it sure looks like this nice white family is saving you and making you into a football player for money. And he's like, no, that's not.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Now that you're saying it out loud.
I hadn't thought of that, but now that you're saying it out loud, soft maybe.
It could be.
That is potentially what
The
happens.
potential is there.
Yeah, potential.
In fact, I'm thinking it might be. It is.
I know. Like,
It
yeah,
is.
there is moments in it that are sweet, like especially at the end. There's a Sandra Bullock has quite a great performance, but yeah, it's problematic. It's definitely problematic. I was reading about it and how people were like, yeah, this is problematic. Like, it feels like its heart is in the right place, and I think like any prejudice, or I think it's all incidental and like unintentional. I don't think it means to be the way it is, but there's definitely an implication.
It doesn't mean to be racist. It's just doing a Power Rangers making the black guy Black Ranger and
Pretty
Yellow
much,
Ranger
yeah.
Yellow Ranger. It's incidental,
They
you
didn't
know.
think about it until later. Kind of racism. The son CJ, I think EJ, whatever. He's quite good. He's really funny. I was disappointed to see he didn't go on to do anything else really because he's really charismatic, and like there's some solid kid acting in this. The same thing in Cocaine Bear was like, you know what? Child actors are giving it. They're doing a good job. This is pretty solid
They've
acting.
they've come far.
They've come far. I'm enjoying this. But yeah, I was like, this is schmaltzy, sportsy nonsense. Like, this is sports schmaltz. Speaking of which, that's it. That's The Blind Side. It was problematic. Anyway, next week,
Sports
it's
ball.
sports ball or whatever
No.
whatever you may consider to be a sports ball movie. There may be debate about what exactly is a sports ball movie. That happens next week. Is this a sport? I don't consider poker a sport, but TSN does, and that's good enough for me.
I've got spirit. Yes, I do. I've got spirit.
Like,
How about you?
I have at least one I want to do that Jordan's going to be like, I don't know that counts, and I'm going to be like, it counts! And I'm going to do it.
Poker doesn't count.
Poker counts, but that's
Poker
next
doesn't
week.
count.
Sports related.
Esports don't count as sports.
Sports absolutely counts, Jordan.
Esports do not count as sports.
They count as sports. Poker counts as sports.
Swear
Chess
to God,
is apparently a
if you come
sport.
to me, if you come to me and you're like, yeah, I watched a movie about a documentary about a League of Legends competition, I'm gonna be like, that's not a sport.
That counts. According to Google,
No.
it counts.
No.
Chess is apparently a sport. It counts.
No.
I have at least one in the chamber that I'm going to be like, it counts. And you're going to be like, I don't think it counts. I'm going to be like, it's technically a sport. But that's next week. Looking forward to that. Also, I also want to watch The Smashing Machine. Definitely going to watch The Smashing Machine. Anyway, that's next week. Come back for that. Hopefully it'll be longer than an hour and 25 minutes like our first attempt at sports ball.
Be there. Or be square.
Also, tell your friends to subscribe to us.
And like, subscribe,
you know what,
share.
We got to do that to
like,
Jordan.
subscribe, share.
Jordan.
Like, subscribe, share.
Where can the people find you? Oh god, he's dying.
I do Minecraft Monday.
He does Minecraft
on
Monday.
Twitch. My account is Zethcore187.
His account is Zethcore187.
You know, we've been working on clearing a mountain for months now.
He's
One day
clearing
we'll finish.
a mountain, and he's been doing it for months.
And I'm also here
He's
doing
also
this.
here doing this
on Sundays.
on Sundays.
Pacific time? 11?
Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. typically, thereabouts.
Ish?
Depending on the day.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. You can find me on TikTok. I'm Justin Spurr on TikTok. My personal TikTok has become political in recent months, but I'm there. You can follow us on the Spur of the Moment P on TikTok. That's we post clips there multiple times a day, every single day. You can email the show if you want to come have a Spur of the Moment conversation with us, or just if you want to chat. That's fine. You can join the Discord. There's a Patreon. I think that's all of the spaces. If you no, you gotta do the end card. If you want to see last week's episode, which was our Halloween special, it's not Halloween, but you can still watch a Halloween special. Who cares? That's the box on the left. If you want to see Jordan, what happens if they click the box on the right?
YouTube is going to tell them what they think, what YouTube thinks they should watch.
Exactly. Jordan, why should they subscribe?
To get more content every day of the week.
Every day of the week. That's Monday, Jordan. Monday, what are they getting Monday?
Monday they get a video.
What about Tuesday?
A video.
Wednesday?
A video.
Thursday?
A video.
Friday?
I think they're getting the idea that it's just going to be a video.
Saturday?
I mean, well, I'd be shocked if there wasn't a video.
There's a video on Saturday, and then Sunday it's the podcast. Multiple times a day. There's shorts. There's content here every single day. That's why you need to subscribe. There's so much. There's a video for anything. For any occasion.
Do it.
You should do it. You should subscribe.
Do it.
Or Just
Do
like
it.
the videos. I mean, I like it if you'd watch them, but if you like them, the algorithm's cool with that too. If you just hit the thumbs up button, but hit subscribe and hit the bell, so you know when you're gonna get those videos. If you don't hit that bell, that's every single day for you. Nom 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 content. Subscribe, like, do all the things. Leave comments. Tell us. Share your thoughts. Talk about anything you saw in today's episode. If you watched the whole thing, we'll see you guys next week. Sports ball. Sports ball.